Hello, friends and countrymen, and welcome to my identity crisis. Yay! No, it's I got these out just for the bit. That was it. That's the only joke tonight. Oh boy. Ta-da! I can see. How's everybody doing tonight? Aw, we got a cheerful chat. It's Mary. It's Gibbs. It's Minecraft. It's everybody. Well, yeah, it's everybody. We're having fun. Already. I know I am. So tonight is ever so slightly more structured. I took notes this time. So, and I moved around. I desperately tried to, like, soundproof this teeny tiny room in the middle of this godforsaken home. But the whole place was, like, once one singular building, and then they just, like, added stuff on. So there's this weird little middle room with just, like, open walls, just, like, a big rectangular hole in the wall on two sides, a window behind me, and then the bathroom. There's two doors in the bathroom, too. It's, like, really narrow, and then there's two doors on either side. It doesn't make sense. This whole place does not make sense. But anyway, move stuff in here. Hopefully it'll be less annoying. I think my light bulb is dying. That is terrible, because that is one of the ones that I use to film. Oh goodness, I'm having lighting issues. Which is actually what I'm going to be doing today while answering questions and stuff and talking about just how the hell this whole identity crisis started. And I'm going to try not to swear so I can upload this to YouTube, because yesterday I definitely didn't go on a tirade about a certain word that starts with C and rhymes with punt. Yeah, definitely didn't go on a whole tirade about, like, whether or not that was hate speech, which it's not. Just a very crass descriptor, but yeah, can't upload that one. It was really fun, though. It was really fun. I gotta be careful. Yeah, yesterday was a bit of a train wreck because not only did I forget that I had an appointment, which took a huge chunk out of my day for setting up, I also, like, didn't quite eat enough, so, like, my blood sugar was kind of low, and so, like, I just kept losing my complete track. Like, I lost my track just, like, my train of thought just then, but the pauses were longer last night, so I'm hopefully going to be slightly more of a person. I'm feeling more energetic and much better, so we're gonna try this again. Take 2. I almost put up one finger. That wouldn't have been accurate. I'm not talking poop about Canada. I'm not. I'm gonna make jokes about Canada, but I'm not talking poop. I'm not talking butt nuggets. Yeah, I actually, when I was younger and kind of a prude, I just came up with a bunch of other things to say besides, like, swear words, but again, usually, like, relating to baked goods for some reason. So, like, oh gosh. There's a couple muffin ones. Oh, and also sometimes I just list off different types of peanuts, which gave that one to Olive. That's weird. Yeah, I was a weird kid. I'm a weird adult, but moving on. If anyone has any questions, feel free to throw them out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna jump into it. Why do people say that? Jump into it. It sounds like you're gonna jump into a deep lake full of bad comments and old memes. That's how it feels. Welcome, Catharsis. I think I'm gonna tell some stories tonight, which hopefully will be very cathartic. Heck yeah! Oh yeah, definitely a theater kid. Definitely a theater kid. That makes things weird. When you're around so many people just emote really hard on a regular basis, it sort of rubs off on you. And then, you know, you've been hanging out with the theater kids for a while, and you start hanging out with writers again, and like you realize you're like 2 decibels above. You're kind of higher on the volume and the shrillness than everybody else. That might have just been me, though. Hello, Nick Ramos. Ramos? Bad at pronouncing things. But I try. Usually I try to go online and like get the robot, like the Google, like, you know, the Google voice to say it, but she doesn't always say it correctly. Yeah. Haha. Yeah, Gibbs, I just gave up. Sorry, I gave up. I gave up on trying to pronounce your username. Because I swear I was pronouncing it right, and then I got told I was pronouncing it wrong, and then I pronounced it differently, and I was told I was pronouncing it. I pronounced it like 3 different ways, and like 3 different Patreon songs. And they were all wrong, so screw you, I'm gonna say it wrong anyway. Haha, yes, my chakras realigned. Well, I only got 6. Wait. Well, I only got 6 out of 7 chakras cleansed, so like, he only got 4 out of 5 stars on Yelp. That's fun. Ooh. It's nice because like I go blind when I take off my glasses for that, so like, it's like I'm still talking to. It's like when I'm filming, I can just pretend, you know? Like I'm not staring at the camera. Ooh. Let's move on. What's with the lemons? Oh man, no, the lemons are. Oh, there's the beep. Beep, beep. I feel like I should do something for that. It's almost kind of comforting, you know? Oh, but, yeah, the lemons. Oh, man. So there's this whole, like, thing with, especially on Pinterest, on the various sites, for, DIYers like myself, to use various household products in order to, you know, save money, be a little bit more organic when, you know, cleaning or just doing daily stuff. And lemons are really, really popular to the point where, like, everyone's just like, yeah, put lemon juice in your toilet bowl, put it in your paraphernalia, put it in your clothing, put it in your food, put it everywhere. Maybe even put it, you know, just rub it on your skin. You know, that's not gonna burn or anything. It's not like it's acid. But it's just sort of funny, and I really like prop comedy, and so just the visual of the lemons I thought was hilarious. I am really easily amused, and when I write and make up stuff, I do it for myself. You know, I do this stuff not like for myself, but I make the jokes that like I think are funny, which I think all my jokes are funny. I'll get that voice eventually. I'm not drinking out of a teapot this time, and this is just water. Oof. It's just a little too dangerous to do this super inebriated. I mean, I'll still be like #vape nation, but that's not getting me inebriated. It's just tobacco. Anyway, yeah, well, okay, so there's the sacred lemons. There's the sacred lemons, and then there's like my lemons, my just like daily use lemons. I actually have a little bin with I should have brought it over here. I have a bin with like, oh god, like 30 tiny lemons and then like a couple big ones. I tried to juggle with the big ones, but they're too big for me to be able to have one in my hand and be able to catch it. So then I switched to the little ones, which are about yay big, but they're still really light. So when I do like my thank you videos for my Patreon supporters, and I'm juggling lemons, they go flying. And yeah, I've definitely hit myself in the face a couple times. If you're a Patreon supporter, you have seen that. What I actually was thinking about doing is getting like a funnel and some craft sand and like poking a hole and trying to fill it so it's got some weight, because so yeah, it's really hard to juggle things that are super duper light. they just bounce off of your hand. And I got teeny tiny Trump hands, so like it makes it even harder. I can get my hand to the bottom of the Pringles jar without like touching the sides. I think I put that on my resume once. Yeah, that's probably why I can't get a job. I think I was in high school as a joke for like a class. Maybe in college. That's pretty cringy. I'm okay with that. Did I ever get rid of that spider in the sink for a while back, or did it escape and destroy the city? I did have to murder it. I had to murder it. It was not pretty. I don't remember if I smashed it, because I've had a couple of spider incidents in the last couple of months. There was one that was actually in my bed, and I like jumped out of bed with a scream, and I grabbed a hammer. And I just like stared the spider down. It was like one of those ones that is like aggressive, and so it like runs at you. So it was one of those guys, and I just had this like 30-second stare down with the spider where I like had the hammer over my shoulder, like flipping Thor, and I'm just staring down the spider, and then finally I just like run forward and smash it and take it out with the first hit, and I, double tap just in case, and then I had to wash the sheets. Oh, another question. Hello, Minecraft. Question. It seems like a lot of people that mock pseudoscience and stuff used to really believe it. Did you used to be a big believer in it, or was this more just a comedy motivation? I actually kind of did. Yeah, no, that's totally, totally makes sense that, that people who debunk it are people who used to believe it, because there is sort of like, when you get informed about something that you previously like were wrong about, there is sort of a feeling of like feeling the need to tell others who were like you. I don't know if you could call it like wanting to save people. I guess there's probably a layer of that, because things always have like more than one cause and more than one reason. But yeah, I used to believe in a lot of stuff. There are like a few things, like, I mean, I do use lemons in cleaning because they're cheap, but also like that acid really cuts through oil when you're doing dishes. But like you have to take it to like a reasonable amount. Like Aristotle talks about like extremes and like finding the median. Like lemons are great for certain stuff, but don't put it on your skin. Don't put lemon juice on your skin. Don't put cinnamon on your skin, you guys. Oh my gosh, I actually did that in high school from just some sort of Pinterest thing, and it burns. My whole face turned red, got super hot. I'm really surprised I didn't give myself like a chemical burn or something. It was mixed with oatmeal. I think that's the only thing that saved my skin. Yeah, that was weird. This went from like spiders and pseudoscience. Yeah, I guess I was more of a believer in pseudoscience. I actually got really motivated and like found Jeff's videos and through Miles Power, because I had been like arguing with my ex over something, because he was very, I joke and I call gluten-free people glutards, but like I know people with celiac, and it's a serious disease when you actually have it, because your insides just they come inside out, and it's not pretty. It's really painful. It can kill them. But people who are just like doing it because they think they have a sensitivity, or they got tested by their herbalist or something, or they're just doing it because everybody else is doing it. That's again like with the media, it's like be reasonable about it. Like you can yell at people about pretty much anything. Now there's a bigger audience. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Knew that was gonna happen again. I'm also really easily distracted. I have a pretty short attention span. Yeah, finding Miles and Jeff. Yeah, I was arguing with my ex over something. Glutard, he was vegan, lactose intolerant. And then after a while, like, he started getting, like, more sensitivities, and he started, like, it was so hard to cook for him. Oh, it was so hard to cook for him because he couldn't do dairy. Couldn't do soy. couldn't do gluten, couldn't do acids, so that's like tomatoes, chocolate, coffee, you know, everything good in life. Couldn't do nightshade, so that's garlic, not nightshade, but like the belladonna family. That actually includes garlic. But he couldn't do any of that stuff, so it became very difficult to cook for him. But he was very into that life. You know, he had a water filter for getting out fluoride, and yeah, I started just doing my own research. When I get freaked out by something or I'm skeptical, I go and look it up myself. You know, I still remember, you know, my librarian beating the whole, like, due diligence, like, look up, like, actual sources, look for, like, the .org, look for who's sponsoring the website, look for who's running it, like, is it something legit, like, do your due diligence, basically, when listening to that kind of stuff, and, like, I found that a lot of the stuff he was saying was wrong. And I started watching Miles Powers videos, which are not only incredibly entertaining, but incredibly informative, and when you can put those two together, that's really special. That's really awesome. And then of course Miles led to Jeff, which just like got even more entertaining and more fascinating. Oh, my donate button works? Oh, that's awesome. Aw, hey, you don't have to give me money, but thank you. I do really appreciate it. You're too nice to me, Gibbs. Gibbs gave me the laptop that I'm running Streamlabs on right now. Guardian Angel. The etherealist of beings. You are up there with Jeff Holiday and one of the etherealist of beings. I kind of lost my olive voice in the middle of that. That was weird. Oh, there's a plane. There's a plane landing. I don't have to tell everybody. I do have to tell everybody. You're super nice. Gibbs is super nice. Go like subscribe to him on YouTube. Gibbs, what's your YouTube name? You have a lot of usernames. One of them is related to poop. Everybody Gibbs. Everybody go subscribe to Everybody Gibbs and follow him on Twitter. You should, yeah, spam that. Get that clout. I had a roommate who used to like clap really aggressively. You know, it didn't look like the emoji. She was like, she did full on claps. It was kind of terrifying. And then she did like the fist thing. Oh, that's scary. Woo, that's scary. What was I talking about? Yeah, I guess I sort of answered that question, the whole pseudoscience thing. And then I was also, yeah, you know, kind of like a spiritual kind of gal. I got really lucky and had two parents who both really encouraged me to explore all sorts of faiths. Found my way into some weird corners. Eventually found my way out. But it does makes you very skeptical. And then it also makes you just look at all the similarities. People are more alike than they think. Y'all are more similar than you think. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Makes it easier to get along when you think about it. You know? Oh, there's like a great Tumblr post about like being salt mates, where it's like you are the same, you're salty about the same things. I wish I could remember the username of who posted that, because I really don't like, I don't like saying somebody else's joke without giving credit. I don't like doing that, because one, I'm probably not telling it as well, and two, you know, they were the funny ones. Gotta give them, because like their smiles can't go in my smile bank, they have to go in their smile bank. Transfer of smiles to smile banks. Plagiarism. No, plagiarism is, well, plagiarism would be if like, my hand slipped. You know, if I took it and said it was mine. Amy Schumer. That other girl's name who just had a tweet blow up, whose name I could never remember. That was terrible. But yeah. Learning dispels fear. At least for me. Education. So, yeah, I tried a few things, you know. Didn't work out for a lot of them. But yeah, I was less like on the pseudoscience end of things and more of like the figuring it out for yourself sort of things. More of like the DIY, but with a question mark at the end of that. Shots fired. You know, I'm late to the party on everything. I'm always late to the party. Kind of okay with that. I'll be the one beating the dead horse. That's terrible. I shouldn't be the one doing that. I don't know. Actually, I have an upcoming episode related to old jokes, which I'm excited for. Do have to make sure that I have the proper lighting. Poor Ophelia has not gotten to do anything. Yeah. Yeah, that subreddit DIY, WHY, is terrifying. Awful taste but great execution is also goldmine. Absolute goldmine. And I am a little bit bright, aren't I? I'm like super exposed. The sun is going down, so I gotta... Oh. I mean, it's still really exposed, but I'm doing my best. I don't have any, like, thing to diffuse the light right now. Janky ratchet set. Ratchet set. Kind of quiet. I also just lowered my voice a whole bunch. My mic isn't quite turned towards me either. Oh, there's the beep. I was gonna say right on time, but I wasn't keeping track of like how much time there was between beeps. It almost seems like it's not consistent. Might be just me. Still trying to figure that out. The lovely Oliver. Hopefully I'll be able to make it to the chat tonight. If not, I will be answering his questions anyway. Oh, excuse me. Oliver! Yay! Okay, I didn't recognize. Hi! Yeah, sorry. He's there! Hey! Yeah. I lost my train of thought again. Yep. Oh, you were trying to help me figure out the beeps, and I'm gonna take a picture of that thing on the wall in the scary tile room. There is another room, one of those, yet another added-on room, that I painted over a bunch of it because it was so hard to look at. You know, like those old McDonald's with like the tile walls and with like the stripes and stuff? Think that, but white, blue, green, yellow, red, and it was like uneven patterned. Oh, and then like a random like two florally designed tiles, stripes. Yeah, and then the ceiling is that like that office ceiling stuff where it's just like, oh gosh, it's like not styrofoam, but you know, like that really thin like plaster, basically the plaster tile ceilings. And so the rats crawl like over that all the time, and so like you can really hear it. Yeah, the corkboard ceiling. Yeah, no, it's terrible. So I don't really go in there. I have like a bunch of my family member stuff is in there, and like old books and stuff that I'm hopefully gonna be selling on eBay and such. But yeah, that's the creepy tile room. I just kept my hand up like this for a while. I'll probably put it down. My thumb's kind of cold. Yeah, scary tile room. Though, yeah, it's kind of a scary tile house, but yeah. Anyone have any more questions? I already lost my mind G-Money, so the beeping doesn't bother me quite so much. I can just tune it out with my own annoying voice. Or Judge Judy yelling at someone in the background. What is your guilty pleasure YouTube channel? I have several. I love trashy TV, reality TV, whether it's real or not. I don't care. It's really entertaining. And it's because, I don't know, reality TV gets down to those basic, like, what do people like? People like it when people freak out, when there's trauma. It's fun. it's just fun and it's silly. But so I really I have a few like reality TV commentary channels who I love because they're really funny people doing it. And the stuff that they're looking at is just wild. I'm also, I'm a big fan of like looking at cringy stuff because I did so much cringy stuff as a teenager and as an adult. I still do cringy stuff now. There's plenty on the internet. Some was on purpose, some was on accident. A lot of it. I'm not gonna continue. But yeah, no, I love that kind of stuff. So, Winebox Poppy, fabulous. Dude gets demonetized all the time because he drops that crass descriptor of lady bits a lot, and like has rubbery baguettes suction cupped to like his desk and stuff. But he's really funny, really just savage, not held back humor. Yeah, it's okay. Gotta allow all those C words now. Oh, the algorithm's gonna pick that up. It's scary. The robots are listening. I mean, they always have been. Now we're just a little more aware of it. Yeah, Winebox Poppy. Oh, and he's a Chicago. He's in Chicago right now. He's Midwest, and so all Midwesterners are great. Really great comedy out there. Winebox Poppy, Jamari, Jamari Speaks. He's really funny. Oh gosh, who else do I watch? Grim, since he's changed his little thing for like asking to subscribe and stuff. Like he used to do this thing where like it would be like in the middle of the video and he'd be like hit the like and subscribe right now and you'll get 5 years, like 100 years of good luck or 10 years of good luck or something, and it was like the same thing. But then he started doing these like little like you'll get a pony and like you won't get anything to help take care of it and it'll have to live in your living room, but you get a free pony. And I like it's yeah, no, it's yeah, he's funny. I can't think of anyone else. I'll have to look at my subscriptions. Oh, I see a question. I really like the slow burn and for Ophelia. Minecraft said, I really like the slow burn intro for Ophelia. Over the course of multiple episodes, how did you come up with the idea for that? The writing school that I went to was very focused on story structure. So at the very beginning, I knew that Ophelia was going to come into play. Her character came along right about the same time as Olive's. Like I knew that I wanted to have some sort of contrast because I knew it would just get kind of boring after a while if I was just doing Olive videos. And also there's like things that I can't say as Olive that I can say as Ophelia. But I knew I could not introduce her at first. Timing is everything in storytelling and comedy and sort of in life in general. But timing is everything, and I knew that I would have to wait to introduce her, or else the contrast would not be as clearly felt. I was actually going to release her this October, but then I ended up collaborating with Jeff Holiday, which was flippin' amazing, and he is just the loveliest person, etherealist of being. Him and Nick too, of the Late Night Saints. They are both lovely people and have been so helpful for me. And yeah, no, I got that ended up sort of helping my storyline into getting Ophelia out into the world, and so she ended up sort of coming actually a little earlier than I thought I would have her reveal herself. And yeah, she's the flip side of the coin. When I talk about them, I think of them, yeah, like yin and yang. Ooh. was trying to think. Oh man, yeah, like really. The positive versus the negative, because except they're both doing the same thing. So both the characters are doing the same thing. They're both encouraging really bad behavior, but it's the intent that is what's different. Because Olive and Ophelia are both kind of terrible. They're both really, I mean, Ophelia's obviously terrible, but Olive is too. Like, she encourages, like, just doing the worst stuff. And she just, you know, encourages just terrible behavior. But she does it out of wanting to help people. And then on the flip side, Ophelia knows that she's encouraging bad behavior, and she's encouraging it because she finds it entertaining. Because it's funny. Yeah, they're my weird little extremes. Oh, I see more question marks. Yay! Wait, let me make sure I didn't miss any. Sometimes I listen to Alex Jones. Wait, was it Vermin Supreme with a fake mustache? Vermin Supreme! Catharsis asks, how did you meet Jeff? That seems so out of the blue. It kind of was. So, this is kind of amazing. This is the moment where I think about, like, how just kind of insanely lucky I am. Because when I started my channel back in, May? I think May. Pretty sure it was May. I posted my first video, and I posted it to Twitter, and then I followed Jeff Holiday, and I guess it, like, somehow my first episode showed up in his feed, and I got the notification. He was, like, my first subscriber and my first Twitter follower or something. I think he was both. I'm pretty sure he was both. And he, like, retweeted the video with an amazing compliment, and kind of discovered me. And I still am pretty blown away that, like, that senpai noticed me. I still like that one. I still like that joke. I think it's funny. At least when Olive says it. When I say it, it's kind of bad. But no, I got really lucky. And he is a lovely person who likes to help other people. Especially people doing character-based comedy, which it's really fun. And really weird. I really, yeah, I got really lucky. And then the most amazing thing happened. I got to be on not only the Late Night Saints, but I had my first streaming debut on oh my gosh, why the Lesser Saints. I'm sorry, you guys. I always have a hard time remembering all the names of the different things that I want to, like, shout out and talk about, because they're awesome, and just because I like talking about cool people. But yeah, and I got to be on Lesser Saints and then Late Night Saints, and from there I just, like, started talking to Jeff and the Nick and, like, making these connections, and then Jeff and I started talking about a collaboration video, and I got to go down to Eugene and go to the block party and make that wild video, which was so hard, but so fun. I just feel bad because, like, I got really hot and, like, hangry and, like, got, like, all bossy. So I used to stage manage, and so, like, there's always, like, that point where I kind of snap, and I'm just like, all right, no, this is gonna go over there. I'm gonna come from that side of the screen. We're doing it this way, because I just, like, I don't know, a nice way of putting it is saying that I get decisive. But, yeah, no, I felt a little bad. But yeah, I got really lucky, and I would love to do another Hemlock video. I think that'd be really fun. Or, like, you know, with another character either. Like, it's just fun. Or just as myself, like, doing anything, because now I get to be myself, which is fun. I'm saying fun a lot. I don't know, life is fun. The floor is slightly tilted, and so I keep, like, turning slowly. And if I didn't have the rug here, I'd be rolling towards the desk. Oh, I think that answered the question. I never know when to stop talking. Oh, Gibbs is asking, do you play any instruments other than the guitar? If so, which ones? I used to play more piano when I still had a keyboard. I was okay at it. I took lessons for about half a year, and then did a bunch of self-teaching. Guitar was sort of the same thing, except I didn't take lessons. I just I had an ex who was a guitar teacher, and so he showed me a couple things, and I was pretty much self-taught. Not really. Yeah, not really. I don't really play any other instruments. I wish I did. If I had the ability to get more instruments, I would love to learn how to play more. I would love to be able to play the harmonica. I'd love to be able to have the little setup with be able to play harmonica and guitar at the same time. Love to learn how to play. I mean, I got electric guitar, which I'm still struggling to figure out. Bass at some point would be awesome too. My dad's actually a bass player, which is funny. And then my grandpa was he played like the upright bass in a swing band. Oh, there's the beep, beep, beep. Is that Inspector Gadget? Do-do-do, Inspector Gadget, do-do-do-do-do, beep-boo. I guess they didn't say beep beep, but that was what came to mind. Nostalgia. Yeah, no, I'd love to learn how to play more instruments. I played viola for like 2 years in middle school, which was really fun, actually. I'd like to pick up I'd like to pick up a few more string instruments. Yee. I wish I could play more instruments, but I don't. More questions? Are we gonna see more collabs between Hemlock and Olive? I hope so. Jeff is a super busy dude. He also has a child. So, we pray for him for that. Children are terrifying. I worked at a party store. Children are terrifying. Like, sometimes they're really funny and cute, and other times they're just absolutely horrifying. But yeah, oh, and he's doing his documentary too, which is really cool. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to, because it was so much fun, and he is a lovely person, and really good at what he does. Yee. You nearly killed Jeff when you brought out Nathan. Yeah, Nathan. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, that body pillow. It was like a gag gift from my ex, and yet it came in handy. When I remembered that, I had to like put it up in a closet because it was kind of terrifying. There was like one time where I was where there was like a bunch of clothing on the floor, and then Nathan the body pillow, and it was like kind of dim, and I was walking through my bedroom, and I screamed and just nearly had a heart attack because I thought there was somebody like laying in my dirty clothing on the floor. Oh my god, that scared the hell out of me. And then then he had to go in the closet. Did I get really bright again? My face is really overexposed. Damn my Kia lamps. Oh no, I swore, don't tell my mom. Hey. Hello, Low Energy Videos. Good to see ya. Oh, thank you, Jones Erlington, for the following. Will Ophelia ever meet Beardy on his travels through the Enchanted Wood? I actually have an idea that I pitched to Beardy, and sadly I don't know if we'll be able to do it if I'm going to be moving out of state. if I have the funds to be able to get up to Kanata, I'd really like to make the video I thought of, and I would also just, I'd love to be in one of his videos. He's super cool and really, really funny. And yeah, no, it's really fun to be around other artists. Like, it inspires you to not only, like, keep doing your art, but to be better at it, too. So, like, I don't know. Holding yourself to, high standards. I should have turned on the little thing that makes my notifications not make a bunch of noise. It was quiet, but still. Yeah, no, that would be awesome. I have the Inspector Gadget theme stuck in my head now. Oh man, it's gonna be like a week of that too. It's never just like one night for me where I have like a song stuck in my head. It's like a week or 3. And then I don't think about it for 10 years. Until it randomly comes up. So like 5 years. 3 to 5. It's probably not that specific. Looking at my notes. I can't read my handwriting because... Oh, it's like chicken scratch. I think I just gave up on like trying to make my handwriting readable to anyone except myself. It's almost a way of like... It's almost a way of protecting my notes, because nobody can read these hieroglyphics but me. It's like... It's like cursive did meth. Drunk cursive, actually, because it's just all sort of connected and like, slurring together. You haven't picked up a pen in like 2 years. That's no joke. Picked up a pen, like just writing or just picking up a pen? You just haven't used a pen? What about like signing for stuff? You just like pinprick your finger and like write it in blood, like sign your credit statements like that? Ooh, that'd be terrifying. On Ophelia, Catharsis asking, on Ophelia set the glowing ink on the wall. Did you break a highlighter and wrote the comments with a finger or lemon juice? The first iteration was laundry detergent. The first background I did was laundry detergent in the ghost video and the manipulation video. And then for the vanity video, I actually did get glow-in-the-dark paint and did like painter's tape for the frame for the painting, and then did like a couple of coats of the glow-in-the-dark paint for the various symbols and stuff. Yeah, the laundry detergent worked pretty well. The only thing is that it was really hard to get off the wall when I messed up, and it really smelled, and it was blue, so you could see it really easily when I was doing Olive's videos. And then like one of my brushes like still had like some sort of dark paint on it, and I ended up like mixing that with the laundry detergent, made this big mark on the wall, and then I tried to wash it off, and then it just like made it worse. So then I just moved the whole set and then repainted. Just trial and error. Life is trial and error. Same with DIY sets. I don't know. 100 ways. What was it, like 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb? 100 ways? I don't know. Edison was like electrocuting elephants, so I don't really care. Tesla was cooler. Tesla. Wait, did I see a question mark? No, I didn't. That's okay. I should just repaint every time you switch set. I really don't want to switch sets again. I don't want to have to move it again. I got my crazy blanket fort set up. Very precarious blanket fort. which still echoes. But I'd really like to not move set until I move house, cause it's a pain in the butt to move everything. Cause all of my lights are IKEA standing lamps, and I'm using the readers. With those like white face masks for like when you're sick over them to diffuse the light. And so I have to adjust them kind of delicately because they're all like wobbly and stuff, and I still tighten them. They're still wobbly because, you know, IKEA lamps. And then when I'm setting up to film, my my camera's kind of wonky depending on which computer I'm on. I might have to restart my computer in order to use it. It's a pain in the butt doing all the painting and then like setting it up, making sure I'm not too far away with where the camera is, and trying to stay consistent. If I move it too many times, it just like makes it more inconsistent. I'm not a big fan of inconsistency. I like to have things be neat and tidy and orderly. Not that I succeed with that, but I do desire it. Oh, I see more question marks. I feel a burp coming. Oh, excuse me. Edison didn't electrocute the elephant. That was his son's film company. Yes, but it was a test to show that the waves that Edison used were safer than the other ones, and it was like a way of basically like advertising. See, it killed this elephant, which had already been put to death, like sentenced to death. You know, the elephant was getting executed, but it's still like, that's one way to advertise. That's you know what? I'm actually kind of impressed. That's a pretty intense way to advertise. Yeah, yes, thank you, Gibbs. It was to show that AC is more dangerous than DC. Yes, thank you for being more specific than I could remember. Bless. I saw it. Did you ever get the plug-in dimmer I sent you on Twitter? Yes, I did. I did get the dimmer. Thank you so much. Which is actually what this lamp is plugged into right now, which is fabulous. I had to like double check some of my light bulbs though to make sure that they're safe to use with the dimmer, because not all of them are. Alan. Oh God. Oh dear Lord. You know, I started this stream with that identity crisis joke, and I'm like, good thing I already got a therapist. Okay, that was weird. I'm just thinking of like TV theme songs for some reason. They're all just coming back. Hashtag free the burp. Oh God. G-Money, I wanted to make one of my extra rooms into a ball pit room, but balls for ball pits are crazy expensive. Yes, they are. I mean, you might be able to get, like, bulk ones from China, or if you really want to go sketchy, like, I don't know, if you really want, this is so sketchy, do not actually do this, but, like, I just had the idea of somebody, like, trying to build a ball pit, and, like, taking their kid to Chuck E. Cheese, like, every week, or just, like, going to Chuck E. Cheese every week, like, as like a teenager or adult or something, and, like, bringing a backpack, and then just every time going, like, stealing, like five or six balls, like, just getting, like, a couple of them every time they go, until they have, like, enough for a full ball pit. How insane would that be? That's a lot, that's so much effort. It's funny, though. It's also, you know, illegal. Like, don't steal balls from the ball pit. Also, like, no, don't steal balls from the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese, man. That's how you really get sick. That's, ooh. Ugh. I don't want to know. Nobody wants to know where those balls have been. Nobody wants to, no. That's how you get pink eye and herpes. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're at a sketchy enough, like, Chuck E. Cheese, you might also, like, find a needle or something. I don't know. That was really bad. I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese's can be real sketch. Still don't believe that the pizza is reused. That's so silly. That violates like 1,000,000 health codes. You can't do that nationwide and get away with it. That's not how that works. It's not how health inspections work. Oh yeah, the DashCon ball pit. And oh yeah. Ball pits are weird, man. The concept is nice. But then you get stuff. Oh god, I saw this brutal video of this dude in a bathtub full of hot sauce. Oh my god. He definitely had chemical burns after that. The dude jumped into a bathtub full of hot sauce and then actually dunked his head and like got it in his eyes, and he just started screaming. And it's so brutal because it's just like, oh my god, dude, like you got chemical burns, you have to go to the hospital. And like the dude running the camera was so unhelpful. Like he he just sort of, oh man, he was just sort of like ready to like keep going. I don't know, maybe the dude is like beforehand like, no matter what, don't stop filming or something. Oh, it was just it was brutal, you know. But it's like, you know, it like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you thought that getting into a bathtub full of hot sauce wasn't gonna like, and getting it in your eyes wasn't seriously gonna do some damage, like, yeah, it sucks. He's gonna probably had some hospital bills, but he probably also, you know, got crazy views, like a couple of which were mine. And yeah. Oh, there's the beep, beep, beep. Where's the beep? There's the beep. Who got the beep? She got the beep. I'm done. Yeah, no, it's just like, dude, like, you're an adult. Or, like, even if it's a teenager, it's like, you know better. Come on. It's like, don't just do it, like, for the views. Like, the only people who can really get away with that are, like, Steve-O. And, like, even he, like, dude, knows that what he does is, like, dangerous. That's why they say don't do this at home. Don't encourage that. That's how you get the Tide Pod challenge, which, like, admittedly was pretty entertaining. Or the ice bucket one was pretty funny. When a bunch of people like got concussed, which is terrible to say, but yeah, again, like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, basically America's Funniest Home Videos and all that stuff that we consider like wholesome fun is basically just like it's just lower on that scale of Schadenfreude. You know, it's just like people don't feel as bad for watching those ones because it's like, oh, nobody got hurt. Oh, it's just a joke. Oh, like he got bruised or something. You know, oh, he's gonna feel that tomorrow. But like, you know, it's the stuff that you wouldn't feel as bad about laughing about. Gibbs, hold my feeding tube. Yeah. Reddit Reddit is not the best. Sadly, they have gone even further in their censorship, which is unfortunate because while they took down some of the darker subreddits like gore and watch people pass on, it does, like, as disturbing as both of those subreddits were, they were representative of the human spectrum of actions and scenarios and things that happen. And censoring hate is one thing. Like, there's a few subreddits that were very much not okay because of the way they targeted people negatively for no other reason, well, just out of spite and hate, and that is not okay. But just showing the reality of things, showing uncensored, real, not just a secondhand story from someone, but witnessing it is very humbling. It's a very humbling experience. It is horrifying, and it stays with you, but it makes you think, and it makes you value the time that you have. As depressing as it is, and how horrifying it is, these things happen, and they're going to affect you in life at some point. At some point, you will have loss. At some point, there will be violence near you, or you will commit it, or somebody else will. Like, you're not gonna be able to avoid this stuff unless, you're that sad girl who was, like, trapped in her basement by your parents for, like, 15 years or something. Oh gosh, yeah, no, that's not good. But also, neither is trying to deny that terrible things happen. But we also focus on the terrible things a lot, which, is fascinating and good for discussion, but there's a point when it becomes less about facing reality and being humble to sadness and to grief. It becomes more of a spectacle. And that's when you get things like people going into crime scenes and taking photos they shouldn't, and, like, not understanding that there is a respect that you have to have. There's a show called Dark Tourism, which is really fascinating. Dark tourism is sort of a subcategory of tourists who go to places with basically dark histories and dark pasts. So examples would be why am I forgetting the name? Any of the concentration camps from the Holocaust. There's the Aikigahara, I believe that's that's pronounced. It's the yeeting yourself out this world forest. That was a very roundabout way of saying things. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's the one that Logan Paul made that video in. But it's, yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. Yeah, Chernobyl would be another one. But these places, they carry a lot of weight. And there are a lot of places that we have that celebrate the greatness of humanity. But the word great isn't actually always a positive word. When we say great, we mean, like, expansive. I mean, there's great, like, yeah, that's great. But also when we say great, like, the greatest artists of all time, the greatest presidents, it's like the people who had the most influence, the expanse, and the reach, and the deep effect that it had on people. So when I talk about great, I'm talking about that kind of great. And we have a very positive great, like museums dedicated to amazing things that humans have done and overcome. But then there are these places that are examples of when humanity was great at being terrible, and great at experience when there was great tragedy. And it does get to the point where people don't understand that you should be respectful. When there's a lot of people who have passed beyond the veil in one place, even if you don't believe in anything spiritual, there's the weight of history there and the weight of lives, even if you can't physically feel it or see it. And just having respect for anyone who passed away, or even just your fellow man, is really important. And while it's also, there is an eerie fascination, like sick curiosity and somewhat entertainment value, when we talk about, like, horror comedy and stuff like that. But there is, it's a very fine line, but there is, well, it's not that fine of a line, because, like, you can usually tell when people are being disrespectful. People do laugh when they're uncomfortable, though, which is something, like, not everybody takes the right way. People laugh when they're nervous. People laugh when they don't know what to do. So, like, everything can be misconstrued, of course, too. But, like, not to Not to take a selfie with like a grave, you know? It's not right. You like think about it like, try to think about it from the dead person's perspective. If you're in a 2 consent state, those dead people can't consent to that selfie. Just saying. It's got really silly. But like, don't be like that. Don't be disrespectful. Yep. People laugh at exasperation. And then there's me where I just like laugh at everything. I mean, it's all about timing, you know? All about timing, especially with jokes. Speaking of which, I think the beep is coming soon. I sense it. I feel it coming. I feel like I might have missed some questions in the chat. I definitely missed some really cool discussions. I'm sorry, guys. I went on a tangent. I wrote down man takes hot sauce bath for my list of things to download for Saturday. Yes. Oh, it is brutal. The screams that he do, the screams that he makes they're real screams. You can tell when somebody is like gutturally screaming, whereas when they're fake screaming, because they're screaming from their chest and their stomach. It's a little brutal. Oh, Lorena Bobbitt. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Creepy place. If you guys are in the LA area, I love this museum. It's absolutely horrifying, and it's like really small and claustrophobic, and so it makes it even more intense. But it's called the Museum of Death. It's in Los Angeles, in the Hollywood area, and yeah, it's really cool. They have some stuff where like definitely don't know how they got it, because they have like original paintings by like Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy. I actually have a really creepy magnet on my fridge of John Wayne Gacy just like smiling. It's like a close-up of him in his clown makeup smiling, and it's like, oh, it's so horrifying. And it's on my fridge. But no, it's a really fascinating museum. And yeah, it is one of those things where you're both like sort of fascinated and horrified because you're peering into the dark side of humanity. Yeah, Minecraft, definitely check out the Museum of Death. I do have to warn you, you need a strong stomach. If you get queasy with any sort of gore, don't go. Do not go. Or gore of any kind. I'm talking human and animal and child. And definitely are some real, some body parts on display. It is terrifying. It's terrifying, but it's like a $17 cover charge or something. Which is, I think honestly they should charge more for what they have, which is like, it's kind of a, it's like, oh, you think they should charge more? What? People don't usually say that, but no, with the collection that they have, it's kind of it's pretty terrifying. I don't really want to know how they got some of their stuff, but the collection that they have is expansive and really sort of brings you there to that person's, not only their state of mind, but the state of mind of the victims as well, basically they showcase a lot of I'm trying to come up with another little simile to use. People who evict others from life. People evicting others from this physical plane. Oh Lord. Yeah, no, it's fascinating. It mostly focuses on that, but also just like focuses on a lot of the aspects of just death in general, and then it's actually really Hey, thank you for the follow. I keep trying to change the little animation. I keep like clicking on the other one that I want to use, and it's like, nope, can't use that. I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine, I'll take the running zombie. Be like that. I'll figure this out one day. Someday. But yeah, actually, the last part of the museum, spoiler alert, the last part of the museum is like actually dedicated to sort of grief and the funeral process and like dealing with death, which is I think kind of an awesome way to lead people out of that museum. They have, of course, they have the handbook. What was it? Oh, it's the handbook from Beetlejuice. Oh, it's the handbook from Beetlejuice, like the Guide to the Afterlife or something. Oh, man. Oh, the handbook for, what was it? Handbook for, oh, I wish I could remember. Somebody in the chat. Somebody remember. Handbook for the recently deceased. Thank you, Minecraft. You win the prize of this high five. Woo! I wish I had more to offer. I'm so sorry. Thank you, though. Thank you for reminding me of that. But, yeah, no, it's fascinating. Best $17 I spent. I wish I had gotten to spend longer in there, but I was with someone who was, a lot more squeamish than me. I'm, not super squeamish. I actually used to have chronic nosebleeds as a kid, so I'm really not freaked out by blood. Because, like, I'd be in the middle of, of class in, 5th grade. Or even, it was, went all the way back to kindergarten and stuff. I had chronic nosebleeds, and so I just, see, a drop of blood drop onto my paper. And be like, oh, I gotta go. I need to go to the nurse's office. Yeah. Yeah. They never could spell my name. Both my parents have, stacks of health room slips, this high. Or it was, me tripping and falling. I'm really clumsy, but I was even more clumsy when I had, really stubby legs. There's the beep, beep, beep. I was even more clumsy when I had really stubby legs and, no sense of coordination. Hadn't gotten glasses yet. I'm really lucky that I haven't broken a bone yet. Or got a concussion. That one really surprises me. Ooh, Nick, I saw so many deaths nearby my house that I'm kind of okay with seeing corpses. Yo! Oh, that's kind of messed up. That's messed up. Do take care of yourself. If you're seeing stuff that dramatic, it will have an effect on you. It will have an effect on you. Even if you might not notice it at first. Take care of yourself. That stuff is hard. And it's okay to admit that it's hard too. That's better. Jingu. I tried. I was kind of a daredevil when I was a kid. I've seen my own bones many times. That's terrifying. Ooh, that's terrifying. Oh, there's videos of people, getting, hurt doing stupid things, and, you can hear their bones snap. Dude, that is a sound that, goes back, you hear it in your DNA. You hear it in your DNA. You know when it's a bone snap. Oh, it's terrifying. Terrifying. There's a video, I showed this to Gibbs, of, a gal who's just, exercising in her living room, and she, steps back during, a little move where she was, doing, lunges, but she steps back and she, snaps her Achilles. And, oh, that's brutal. Oh, I'm I'm giving myself the heebie-jeebies talking about this stuff. That's, it is fascinating, too. It's, how both resilient and fragile the human body is. If you think about, the people who, oh, that show, I Shouldn't Have Survived. Oh, that was I binge-watched that show for a while. It was really good. There's some of the stories of stuff that people have survived, and then also stuff that people haven't survived. It's so bizarre. Kids just bounce. Seen so many videos of kids, getting, run over, and they just get back up. It's nothing. It's terrifying. Little terrifying, sturdy teddy bears. Ooh. Yeah, she was doing the knee raises. Yeah. Oof. Gotta be careful. Oh, and that's the kind of stuff where it's you will have issues for years. Like, that is not a fun thing. Not a fun thing. I mean, snapping or breaking anything in general isn't a fun thing, but that especially. Ooh. Reading. My dad broke his leg and worked on his broken leg for 2 days because he refused to admit it was broken. That's so not good. Just go to the doctor. I had this argument with people who are like, I don't want to go to the doctor. It's like, you don't want to go to the person who you pay a bunch of money for health insurance to go see. And you don't want to see this person who spent years of their life getting into tremendous debt so that they could reset your broken leg and make sure you heal correctly so that you can keep doing stuff. You don't want to go see that person. You don't want to be uncomfortable for like a couple hours, maybe, if you have a really long waiting time. You would take years of pain from a bad healing job, or God forbid an infection. Like, then just go see somebody like that. Man, I don't know, man. I maybe I'm just like really clumsy or something, or I just like get sick a lot. But doctors have saved my life several times, including when like right after I was born, I had mono as like a baby. Like, I think I was like 4 months or something, 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. I was under a year old and I got mono, and was in the hospital for like a month. But like, nah, man. Doctors are cool. And they're also just people. And also nurses are really funny. Hey! Thank you for the follow, Jesus. Your nudes. Frosting? Sorry, I think that word, I'm pretty sure that word would get flagged and stuff. I really want to be able to post this one to YouTube. Can't post last night. Can't post it. Also, it forces me to be creative and to think, to critically think, like all of our teachers wanted us to do in high school. They really wanted us to have those critical thinking skills, guys. Didn't work out for a lot of people. It's okay. Some people will learn. Some people figure it out. Chunky mayonnaise. Why is it chunky? Why is it? That sounds like it went bad, yo. That sounds like you need to see a doctor. Like, we were just talking about seeing a doctor. Go see a doctor if your mayonnaise is chunky. That doesn't... I mean, like, I've heard of baguette cheese before, but that seems like a little much. Might have a medical problem. Yeah, you might. Just maybe. Go see your chiropractor. Wait. I know this great herbalist that you should go see, because, like, there's probably an essential oil, I think it's lavender, that, like, helps for an infection and stuff, and yeah, you know, you really shouldn't be taking antibiotics or anything, because, like, that's what they put in cows, so, like, and then they end up, like, in your meat, so if, like, you're eating meat anyway, you're basically taking antibiotics, but also, like, antibiotics will, like, probably give you, like, cancer or something. It's probably going to make you sick or something. But yeah, you probably shouldn't be taking antibiotics in the first place because it's already got, like, the bacteria that make you sick. So, like, yeah, definitely don't take antibiotics, you guys. Ooh, that was fun. Wait, if you're a girl, how do you know what its texture is? Gonna let you figure that one out on your own, bud. Yeah. How would I know what the texture is? You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Nick got it. Gibbs hasn't gotten it yet. Lavender enema. Oh, God. Oh, God. That is just the worst. I oh man, I had an ex who had to do an enema like every other morning. Who dares text me? Oh, no, just kidding. I gotta stop saying that when I look at my phone. What did I walk into? Yeah, you know, Gibbs. It says in the little notification that we're gonna get weird, so you gotta just expect it. We're gonna get weird. Had to or wanted to. Had to do an enema every other day. Do I want to tell this story? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to use his name, and it's something that very few people know. So I think I'm going to tell this story. So I'm going to tell you guys the story of the guy that I dated, who I refer to as the boy without the butthole. This guy was like my first college boyfriend and was admittedly very nice at first. Very sweet. I think our first date was like the day before Valentine's Day or something. So, you know, like did a Ryan Howard on that one and ended up dating. But the guy he was born without a butthole. He had some like messed up stuff that like happened when he was born, and it wasn't there. It's just he had buns, like he had the separation between the buns, but there was just no back door. Walled off. So he oh, I'm sorry, I'm just loving that. I love how you guys are reacting. Yeah, no, this is real. Actual guy I dated. Who will probably end up on the FBI most wanted list, and I'll get to that later. But so he just, you know, no back door, no back entrance. And so for a while, the doctors had his lower intestine, basically exit via the front, via his belly button. So for a while, like, I think it was like elementary school when they like changed things up, but for a while he had to move through his belly button, process the excrement via his belly button, yeah, so he got I feel like such a bad person for laughing right now. Thank you for the follow, HB Soup. I feel so bad for laughing. He got bullied. I can't believe, I'm so sorry for laughing about this right now. But the kids used to tease him in school by just calling him Poop Boy. Make fun of calling him Poop Boy. I don't know why I find that so hilarious, but they'd be like, no, he was called Poop Boy, because, like, you know, sometimes it would get shirt, you know, there would be stains. Poop Boy. Yeah. But yeah, no, then they surgically gave him a back door. They went in and reconstructed. They did a remodel and gave him a back porch. But it was still a little you know, still a little new, little ratchet. So like, yeah, he had to do an enema every like other day. Yeah. The boy without the butthole. Yeah, he turned out to not be such a great dude. Very mentally unstable. Meant really well, but went through enough trauma that, like, he hadn't really recovered. And funny enough, was studying to be a psychologist, which, as my therapist so lovely says, she's like, yeah, no, like, half of the mental health professionals want to help people, and the other half are probably need some mental health help themselves. I think I got one of the normal ones, you guys. No, she's great. I love her. But yeah, no, he was, studying to be, like, a psychiatrist, and he had, like, a really strained relationship with his dad, where, like, his dad had, like, been really bad to him, and they had, like, gone to therapy and, like, worked through it, but basically his dad just went from, like, physical abuse to emotional abuse, or, like, had both and just cut out the whole punching thing. Yeah. And I remember, like, going to, like, his birthday dinner, and it was really uncomfortable because the dad just kept, like, making really passive-aggressive comments, and it was just really obvious that, like, they hadn't gotten over it. And so, like, this guy had, like, 2 out of the 3 of, like, that, like, triad of, like, things for like, serial killers. You know, it's like, I hate that I can't remember the names of, like, any of these concepts, but it's, like, pyromania, like, childhood signs, like, so, like, pyromania, taking the souls of small animals, and what was the last one? Childhood abuse. And those 3, like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you are close, but no cigar. Maslow's hierarchy of needs are, like, basic survival, like, emotional enlightenment, you know, the pyramid. It's the triad. I can't remember it. Gotta look that up again. He had 2 of the 3. I don't know if he had the 3rd one. I wouldn't be surprised. There's the beep. Beep, beep. Who's got the beep? Beep, beep. She's got the beep. Anyway, he had 2 of the 3, so he had the child abuse. And, if you voted animal abuse, you are correct. So he used to get rid of the bunnies in his mom's garden. 'Cause, you know, they would eat her herbs and stuff. So what he would do, which he considered humane, possibly, I don't really know, still pretty messed up, but so what he did would be, he would grab them by the ears, and then swing them around until their necks broke. Like a lasso over his head. Not sure about that one. Because, like, neck breaking is technically instant death, but that is pretty messed up. I don't think he did it right. That's pretty not okay. That's not how you deal with bunnies in the yard. I've got a big, big rabbit in my yard right now. I wouldn't get rid of him. He's really cute. He's Mr. Hops. Ooh. When he runs, he's a bun on the run. Bun run. Yeah, no, dude was nuts. How do you catch rabbits with your bare hands? Practice. Same with chickens. I grew up with chickens, and it does take some practice. Ooh, man. Yeah, no, this dude was pretty nuts. Had some serious issues. Of course, we ended up breaking up in a spectacular fashion. Well, I mean, the breakup itself wasn't very spectacular, but what led to the breakup was pretty spectacular. But I'm not gonna tell that story because I technically already told most of it in one of my episodes. Yeah. Props to you if you can figure it out. One of these days I'm gonna do, like, a giveaway where it's, like, whoever can guess what is what or something, can answer something right, gets, like, a lemon keychain or something. Which I gotta work on. I gotta work on some fedoras and some lemon keychains. and various recipes and things for my Patreon supporters. Not sure when I'm gonna be able to film again, sadly. Hopefully soon, because I don't have anything ready right now, sadly. Yeah. The Tale of Poop Boy. If he didn't have the pyromania, I get the feeling he did. Like, I'm like a little worried he's gonna end, I'm gonna see his face on an FBI watch list. I actually went to high school with a kid who, like, murdered a pastor who had, like, taken him in after he'd been, like, kicked out by his parents. That kid, man, I never liked that kid from the beginning. He freaked me out. He freaked me out from the beginning, and, was also just very socially unaware and just didn't really realize when people are getting annoyed by him, and he'd throw tantrums and stuff, like, not to the point where, like, he was had any sort of, like, disability or impairment, but, like, just didn't have the emotional awareness or, like, wasn't raised to hold back the rage, basically. Like, just no control over that. Funny enough, I grew up in a really pretty affluent neighborhood. I was, like, one of the, like, solid middle class, like, towards the lower middle class, but, like, the one little neighborhood in this community that was more of the middle class, lower middle class, and then everyone else was, like, unbelievably rich. And so, like, I'm coming to school in my hand-me-downs, and there's, like, girls in their Gucci bags. But then it was also, like, kind of weirdly, there was it was really weird, because it's all kind of religious-ish, but, like, a very big mix of the types. It was, like, all pretty much Christian, but, like, a lot of different types. Pretty bizarre. There was, like, exactly 2 black kids at my high school. Oh, man. It's the area I lived in. I got kind of, I don't know, it's like I got kind of lucky, too, because I got, a good education because of the school that I went to, as much as I hated it. Every waking moment of it. And, wouldn't have led to the kind of things that I'm doing now, which, granted, not everything is super great right now, but it's what I'm dealing with, and I got here, and, I don't know. I'd rather be struggling over, like, getting to do something that I really want to do than, like, giving up or struggling over something that when I'm old, if I get there, fingers crossed, that when I look back upon, I would feel as if I wasted time. I don't know, maybe I'm just really aware of death. They're just like, he's hanging on my shoulder, just going like, hey, there's only so much time left. Don't waste it. So, yeah. Do what I can. I see question marks. I've been ignoring the chat. Sorry. Chickens are sweethearts. They're really funny. And if they are kind of like those like camera stabilizers. If you like move them around, like their heads stay in one place. And if you turn birds on their backs, they basically don't know what to do, and they like get all calm and quiet. So like when we needed to like do something, like a claw like got messed up, there's like messed up feathers, or they got sick or something, we'd flip them on their backs, catch them, flip them on their backs, wrap up in a blanket or a towel. Beep occurred 15 minutes 15 seconds. Thank you, Minecraft. I did not mean to. That was an FT. I'm so sorry. I am mumbling. I did not mean. I didn't say the word that you might have heard. Yeah. Oh no, no Gibbs, no belly button, but no backdoor entering of the belly button. That didn't make sense, but you knew what I was saying. It didn't make that much sense out of context, but you probably know what I was saying, hopefully. Oh gosh. Pyromania and animal abuse as a kid, 2 gigantic red flags. Yeah, it's the, it's like the serial killer thing. Small animal, animal abuse, pyromania, childhood abuse. Terrifying. Terrifying. Wasn't that, oh cool, kind of well-to-do and crazy, wasn't that essentially... this guy was not as charming as Jeffrey Dahmer would have been. Not as charming. Not as charming. He didn't have the kind of confidence, that, someone like Jeffrey Dahmer would have. And that's probably why he hadn't done anything illegal already. Because there is, like, the criminals, you know, people, like, will commit crimes because they think that they can get away with it, you know? Or that they're not doing something wrong, or that if they do get caught, like, it either doesn't matter, or they can get out of it, or, you know, they just don't care. And then, you know, people have breakdowns and just do dumb stuff. People do stuff on accident, which, you know, there's, you know, intent is always a big thing, but yeah. Where's this tangent going? Oh, nuts. Serial killers. That's weird. I know too much about this stuff. It's because I also write horror, which is very, very fascinating. Yeah, he was not as charming as Jeffrey Dahmer. Didn't have the yellow slug, he didn't have the slug bug. Are they the types of Christians that believed Jesus... that Jesus... What was the phrase that you used? I want to keep using it. Or was that... Because my attention span's really short. For some reason. Can I? I can't remember it. Well, no. They were not the kind of Christians that believed that Jesus expelled his seed via going number one. You know, that was really hard to... It's really hard to make up something for that. Bedwetting is... No, it's not. Bedwetting is not the third part of that triad. Thank you. The McDonald childhood triad for childhood psychopathy. Yep, that's it. Oh, persistent bedwetting. I thought it was the child abuse. I guess I was remembering that wrong. Which, you know, is okay. I'm okay with being wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Cite your sources. I would like to be informed. I am far more comfortable streaming tonight. I have had enough calories and no unexpected appointments and lots of time to get ready, which is great. I love it when I actually have time to get ready. And this is fun. It's fun to chat with you guys about this stuff. I don't get to do this kind of stuff very often. I mean, I don't get to stream very often, but because like I don't. But also, I don't get to like chat about this kind of stuff that I find really fascinating. Ooh, Gibbs dropping some facts about. Okay, yeah, there's a bunch of words that I probably shouldn't keep using because they're gonna get picked up by algorithms. Yeah. Oh man, that Nerd City video with all the words that you can't that get flagged. I mean, like, I'm not monetized, but, like, you still gotta be careful with that kind of stuff, because they pick it up for, like, recommending your content, too. Non-charismatic Jeffrey Dahmer equals Richard Ramirez's oh-so-convincing smile. Jesus. Yeah. the word list. Just sad, you know. Well, I mean, that's the thing when it comes to making money, is that the more you make, the more lines you have to not cross. There is a certain amount of sacrifice that comes with making money for stuff like this. Also because this is very new territory. People don't really know what to do. Like with TV, you know, like you have the commercials and then the show, and then the commercials and the show. Whereas like YouTube, we now see this sort of like blending of like ads disguised as content. And it kind of just, whenever I see that kind of stuff, like it makes me sad because it makes me think of an Adam Sandler movie, like where he's like turning the Coke can like out and like drinking it from the side because like he has to have the label out. Like that's what I think of. Or like there's like a great Arrested Development bit where they're making fun of that and they're like at the Burger King and like complimenting it really big. You know, they're making fun of of that whole thing like that. It just kind of kills me because I'm like, oh, I didn't like if I thought I could skip the ads. You know? Especially when it like, I mean, people get complimented on being like really creative and like transitioning into the ads or like making it a part of it. And while like in one way that's really cool, it also like, it almost makes me feel betrayed, like I got tricked. I don't know, it might just be me. Like it goes all this kind of stuff. Like when I'm talking about like this kind of stuff, like this is my own opinion, of course. Like I'm gonna have my own personal bias. I'm gonna have my own pretentiousness. There's the beep. Beepity beep. We got the beep. Who got the beep? We got the beep. Oh no, he gave me the beep. You might be surprised to find out that I was told to think before I spoke a lot as a kid. Only partially learned how to do that. Only partially learned how to do that. Had to get good at it when I worked at the party store and when I worked stage managing with kids. It's still hard. Yeah, I don't know. I get sad. I get sad when I feel like I've been tricked into watching an ad that I know like the person's only making and putting and like sort of forcing into their content because it's for the money. And like it's really awesome that you can make money to keep doing what you're doing. But like, I don't know, maybe this is just like pretentious art school kid thing, but where is the line with making money to continue what you're doing and sacrificing the integrity of your art for the sake of money? It's blurred. It's a really hard balance to keep. 'Cause like being a working artist, you want to be able to get paid for what you love to do, but it comes at the risk of losing the core feelings of what you love in order to take care of yourself or to live a certain, a lifestyle you want to. And it's really easy to get caught up in the idea of getting big and making money, but like, yeah, again, maybe this is just pretentious art school kid me going like, I'm not a sellout. Like, no, I'm not calling anyone a sellout. But it's like, I'm watching it for the laughs. I don't really want my ads to be in it. And that's when I like I worry, cuz like, ultimately, YouTube, I really don't want it to be like a full-time job for me where I'm relying on it completely for income. To get monetized, that would be amazing to have that supplement uh, to help keep me alive. And but at what cost does it come when you start to integrate uh, advertising for something into your content? Because, like, I suppose it also, like, depends on what kind of content you're making. Like, with me especially, I'm just gonna talk about it in, like, terms of, like, how it would affect me if I ever got an offer like that. She says, as if it mattered, like, as if it's relevant to her at all. But, you know, when I think about it, you know, just the big picture of things, you know, I wish, but, because if you're, like, making more of, like, the nonfiction commentary kind of stuff, that's one thing where it maybe is kind of easier to do that. Like, there's a great channel called it's something media. It's gonna drive me nuts. It's gonna drive me insane because I want to be able to plug these guys. They're really cool. But so they mess with scam callers and, like, scammers and stuff, and they've actually turned a bunch of them around and gotten them to, like, join them. And, like, one of the dudes is actually, like, a dude who used to be one of those, like, phone call scammers and got, like, helped out of it. Like, and they're really funny and they're really cool, and I'm not in the right YouTube account, so these are not the subscriptions that I need to look at. One moment. Oh my gosh, they're even live right now, and so are Drunken Peasants. Oh, I love the Drunken Peasants. Oh, Jeff saw the Drunken Peasants. Oh, they're great. They're great. Sweet boys. Sweet boys. Mr. Billy the Refrigerator and Ben Pye. I like calling him Mr. Refrigerator. Trilogy Media. They are really cool. But they often plug this app that is used for, like, making calls, like calling from a different number or changing your voice and, like, protecting yourself. Like, they catch, like, scam calls or possible spam stuff, and it's a really they plug the app in, like, every single video, so go watch their videos so they can plug it, and so then they can get the views. So I'm not gonna tell you guys about it. You have to go look it up. But go watch their videos because they're really funny and really smart dudes. But they plug that because it's, like, very much, you know, related to what they're doing, and so it's like, hey, if, like, this might help you, and so that's, like, one thing. But if it's something like mine where I'm doing, like, character stuff and story-based stuff, and then, like, suddenly I'm talking about plugging, I don't know, Audible. As cool as it is that I'm plugging something, like, that would encourage, like, listening to books and stuff and, like, would be great for my fans or entertaining or whatever, as great as that is, and as great as it would be paid for that, it doesn't feel authentic in certain cases. I'm not saying this, like, for everyone. Again, my own personal opinion, you know, hashtag art school pretension, hashtag I'm not a sellout, hashtag why am I saying hashtag out loud, hashtag it's a pound sign. Man, that derailed fast. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it's all gonna come down to, like, specific situations. Like, you can always talk about things in big picture, but you eventually have to zoom in on stuff. That's like, oh man, I try to be really open-minded and be open to having my mind changed. Especially after, you know, believing in pseudoscience and stuff. I think it's really important to educate yourself, especially when something is scary, because, like, I don't know about you guys, but I look up stuff. If I'm getting freaked out by something, I'm gonna look it up so that, like, I know what's gonna happen. At the very least, like, the fear of not knowing is a lot scarier than the fear of what might actually happen. because your brain is always going to come up with something way scarier if it's vague. Vagueness is terrifying. The unknown is terrifying. That's why, like, those really old horror movies and stuff, or like even, you know, not super old horror movies, the really good ones are the ones where, like, there's a sense of not knowing, because the stuff that your own mind can come up with is not only really scary because you don't know what's going on, but also because whatever horror your brain is coming up with is tailored to your fear. So the more vague you are, the more terrifying it is. And isn't that weird? Oh man. Oh goodness, I need to read. I'm so sorry, guys. I did not catch up with the chat. Ads are going to be there anyway. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the ads are going to be via Google, but like, getting the money directly. So Decay does make an interesting point. He says, the way I see it, the ads are going to be there anyway. It's either going to be via Google or you do it yourself. Doing it yourself gives you the money directly, and then some. Google have ads on non-monetized content even. See, that's the thing, is that it's not about the getting the money and getting all of it. It's about my content not being as authentic because I'm doing that. I'm saying that just for me, you know, because I can't tell anyone what to do with their channels. You can't tell anyone what to do. You can try. I mean, you can tell people what to do. That doesn't mean they're gonna do it. But like, for me personally, it's less about the money part and more about the how will it affect what I'm putting out? Will it make it better or will it make it worse? Will it add or will it subtract? Will it make what I'm doing better, or will it detract from what I'm trying to do? And ultimately, I'm trying to make people laugh, and I'm trying to hopefully make them feel something. If it's uncomfortableness, that's good. If it's maybe making them think a little bit, that's even better. But I don't know, I feel like it would just it doesn't work for me. That's just me. I think you guys, Jingu says, I think you guys are worrying too much about selling out. We get it, as long as it's a product you're just really behind, the audience doesn't care. Again, not about the audience. I hate to say it, this is going to sound very selfish, but it isn't about how the audience is reacting for me either. It's about what I'm putting out and how I feel about it, because I hold myself to really, really specific and probably kind of high standards for myself artistically. And ultimately, it isn't about making the art for other people. I mean, in a sense it is. Partially it is, but when I write and when I tell stories and when I tell jokes, I am doing it because it makes me happy and it genuinely feels like the right thing I need to do. But if it's kind of like when you're really into a subject and a teacher brings up a project where, like, you get to study that subject, you know? But then you have to make a really obnoxious, like, PowerPoint presentation or like a board game or something. I was talking about that last night, like making it like a board game on a piece of poster board or something, and like suddenly the joy is lost. That's not fun anymore. And like, yeah, maybe it's just selfish. Maybe I just want to like feel good and stuff, but I don't know. It's not the kind of art I want to make. It doesn't feel like art anymore, for me at least. Kind of throws things off. Again, it's going to be different for the kind of stuff that other people are making. And maybe it's just me, like, coming from more of, like, a theater background and more of, like, you know, again, pretentious art school background. But it is incredibly jarring for me to, like, be in the middle of, like, this flow of somebody talking and then being diverted into an advertisement. Especially if it's in the middle. That's brutal. That's brutal, because then I am skipping through that part. I'm like, okay, let me get back to the content. Because that's ultimately, like, how you feel, right? You're waiting for them to get through the ads so they can get their money, you know, so they can keep doing it, and then you can get back to the content. And it's already hard enough for me to make these videos, like, just with the kind of stuff that I want to put in, and then I have to, like, come up with putting an ad in there, and making it seem natural when I know that it's not, and I know that people are probably just gonna skip through that part. Yo, no, I don't want people to skip through parts of my video. That would make me sad. Except for the intros and the outros, though, because holy cow, they're grating. Man. Ooh, let's look at the chat. In a game I made, we had a bunch of people quit because they were so scared. It wasn't really that scary. It was all ambient music and people's heads doing the heavy work. Yeah, it is all in the... Horror is about it being in the head. Horror is about it being in the head. That was a really weird, clunky sentence. I should make a Patreon post about you doing these streams. Yes, thank you. I should do that. I will do that next time. Because I haven't streamed for a while. And other people are streaming stuff. Oh, I know you're not telling me how to de-stuff decay. I'm just, like, explaining my point of view and why, like, well, I appreciate your advice, but may not necessarily take it. Beep, beep. Most hobbies would be horrible if you got paid for it. Because then expectations go up instead of happiness. You know what? That depends on the kind of hobby. Well, because, like, a hobby is one thing, and, like, a passion is another. Because, like, a hobby is, like, something, you know, you just do for fun. You do it to relax. Whereas, like, when I write, I'm not writing to relax. I don't write because it's relaxing. I write because, like, it makes me intense, and it makes me excited, and it makes me feel something. And allows me to express myself. So, like, a hobby? Yeah, probably. Maybe. I don't know. I've worked some interesting retail jobs, and have gotten to sell some really interesting things, and have had, like, my job at the party store ended up leading me to learning how to make balloon animals and stuff. I really liked that job. And I really enjoyed making balloons and stuff. Like, yeah, dealing with customers and stuff sucked, but, like, blowing up balloons and chatting with my coworkers and having a job I didn't have to take home except in the form of balloons nobody wanted, it's pretty great. G-Money says, when I was in college, a Tibetan monk showed up, spent a week making an intricate colored sand mandala. We all looked at it for a little bit. He walked to the river and poured the sand into the river and left. Yo. That was probably too hashtag deep for a lot of those kids. Because even college students, like... You know, people... Well, there's something that Judge Judy said to this dude. Or he's saying it to, like, this guy's wife or his mom or something, and she said, he might be grown, but that doesn't make him an adult or something. Like, he might be grown, but that doesn't make him mature. He might be old, but that doesn't make him grown. I think that was it. But it's basically like, you know, like you might be in your 60s, but you're acting like a teenager. I'm 14 and this is deep. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel right now. Hashtag deep. What's my favorite Judge Judy episode? Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I've seen a lot of, like, clipped cases. Do you love the crazy Tupperware lady? the ones where, like, Judge Judy the ones where, like, the plaintiffs don't show up prepared or, like, are actually the ones in the wrong, when she catches, like, scammers and stuff, oh, those are good. Those are good. Yeah, the Tupperware lady is a classic. Look up the Judge Judy Tupperware lady. She's nuts. Oh, man. Hello, Canuck. The Canadian. Just watched your behind the scenes character video. Ah, thanks. It's nice having mask off. Mask off. I'm still upset that we have a reality TV president and Judge Judy isn't a Supreme Court justice. I'm upset about this. Judge Judy should be on the Supreme Court. You know, in her new season now, like 2019 episode, she's got a Ruth Bader Ginsburg ponytail. She's ready. She's flippin' ready. I love Judge Judy. She's like the moral center of reality TV. She's the law of reality TV. You don't mess with Judge Judy. You don't. I really want, there was like this artist who did like classical portraits, but like with celebrities, so like they make it look like a Renaissance, not a Renaissance, like an Elizabethan queen and stuff. But there was like one of Judge Judy, it looks like an oil painting, or something. Like, I love it though. I like really want that like framed, like sitting above a fireplace or something. That would be great. I've got a couple of cool prints behind me that I haven't gotten frames for, and I just sacrificed another frame for Ophelia's light. I sacrificed another picture frame piece of glass for her new light, which hopefully I can just fix tomorrow and then film, depending on what I'm doing. Did you get the Miles Power approval for that serotonin tattoo? Yeah. I didn't get Miles Power's approval, but I did get my chemical engineer father's approval. And did a whole lot of looking up before I got it. I got it, 7 years ago? 6-7 years ago? I was doing it before it was cool. Yeah, no. No, I like, I dig my little serotonin tattoo, because, like, it doesn't matter how, like, basic bitch it is, like, it's what it means to me, and, like, I got it because, you know, my brain doesn't always spew out enough of the good chemicals, and so it's sort of my reminder to me to, like, choose my own happiness and to make it myself, like doing writing and stuff, because, like, you know, stuff gets hard. It gets hard. And it's like having something to help you go on is really important. And for me, that's telling stories. And now telling jokes, which is really great. I can't believe people think I'm funny. Huh. Finally. It's pretty bad. Yeah, Judge Judy 2020. Judge Judy 2020. Shineland McGrath 2020. Judge Judy, Dr. Phil, President, Vice President. Ooh, oh, my hip cramped up. Oh, I'm an old lady. Got my bifocals and everything. Really bad at staying up late. I'm just a little old lady inside. Did I miss any questions? Oh no, you clipped the beep thing. Darn it. Oh boy. 2 hours in the future. It's only 10 o'clock. Your time. That's not that late. Yeah, people have to go to work tomorrow. Definitely go to bed if you need to. Because, like, I don't have a job, so I can stay up late. So, but you do. Make that money. Make that green. Respect the hustle. It's 4 a.m. here. Dear Lord, man. I hope you don't have to get up early. Work is terrible, but they pay you. But they pay you for your time. That's important for survival. It's very important for survival. It sucks, but yeah. It's midnight. I'm finding out where everyone, what time zones everyone is. Oh my god, Oliver! You gotta start at 2 hours? Dude! Oh, I can't live like that. Like, I stayed up, well, I guess I stayed up kind of late last night. I just had a really hard time falling asleep. Stayed up late and then had a hard time falling asleep, but like, oof, that's rough. That's rough. These are the glasses I can't poke through. Somebody in the comments noticed that I scratched my eye through the glasses in the last video, and I'm so happy. I was so glad somebody noticed that. There's some little things I've done that like a couple of people have noticed, and every time like somebody notices one of the like small things I do, it just brings joy to my cold, dead little heart. New York, a New Yorker. Janey accidentally said, what did I say? What did I say? What did I do? What did I do? What did I say? I don't remember what I said. Can barely remember who I am. Nah, it's cool. I can figure it out. I just need the right accessories. Gotta say, it's really fun wearing the horns. It's pretty fun. Brazil! Oh, Brazil! Ponytail! ASL is the... Oh, yeah, that's right! Age, sex, location. That's right. Oh, man. Not just AOL, like... Oh, remember when chat roulette was a big thing? Ooh. Oh, gosh. Man, I remember when there was still porn on YouTube. I watched a lot of subtitled anime as a kid on YouTube. Ooh, and magic. Like magic shows and stuff. Like the World Magic Awards and like magic shows and stuff like that. Because I flippin' love magic. I love magic. And I actually collect old magic tricks, like vintage and antique ones, and playing cards. I'm like more on the playing card end of things. But I really like old magic tricks. They're pretty cool. I've always loved magic since I was a kid. Can't really do it. Not a magician myself, but kind of a historian, I guess. It fascinates me. It's really cool. It's fun to learn the secrets. Do you watch Fool Us? Yes. Oh, Fool Us is good. And now my ex was a magician, so I ended up learning a lot about it, and like how stuff worked. He let the cat out of the bag with me, but I am keeping those secrets too. But it's really, really cool when you start finding out how that stuff actually works, and then you like see what they're doing. It's like when you it's like when you see how the sausage gets made. You know, like, yeah, you don't look at it the same way. Like, when you learn how something works, you don't quite look at it the same way. Especially, you know, when sort of the veil gets lifted and the secret gets revealed. But, like, I don't know, I still think it's really cool. And, like, be able to see how it works. And also, it's just fun. It's fun. It taps into that, like, childhood sense of wonder that I think is really necessary for getting through life. If I wasn't like super silly and like just giggled at everything dumb that I did and like let myself get really absorbed by silly things and like arguably stupid things, like I'd probably lose my mind more than I have already. But it's that same sort of thing, like when I worked at the party store, one of the things that like I loved was when I would blow up a balloon and I would see the same expression on like a toddler's face as like the grandma holding the toddler. The same expression, and it's just like the wide-eyed, like all those wrinkles almost sort of melt, and like you see the childhood wonder and curiosity come back as like, you know, it's almost like watching somebody go back in time in their facial expression when you see like somebody who like hasn't had a balloon blown up for them in a while. And that's a really cool thing to see, especially when like you see it on people who like actively try to keep it up, you know. I keep a balloon pump, a little balloon pump, and and long balloons in my purse so that I can make balloon animals on the spot. Because I can only make, like, balloon dogs and swords. The flowers I'm still working on. They take 2 balloons, so they're a little bit harder. But, like, I don't know. Like, I think it's fun to be able to pull out a balloon pump for the lady at the USPS when I'm getting my passport and ask her when's the last time somebody made her a balloon animal. That's fun. It's fun. It's okay to be silly. It's okay to be fun. Life is really hard. Life is really hard. If you can't laugh at stuff that's hard, you're gonna be carrying it with you. Laughter's like shaking off the cobwebs and the dust that settles from, like, stuff that you go through and that happens. And it's, like, physically good for you, you know, it creates the good chemicals in your brain. Oh, I sounded like Olive. It creates the good brain chemicals. Why do most normal people think they've lost their minds? It's the really crazy people that think they're fine. I'm crazy and I don't think I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine if I take care of myself. I mean, like, the truly delusional people, the people who their mental illness has gotten to the point where they are not themselves, where the illness is completely taken over and they have lost their ability to, like, make decisions for themselves. Yeah, they honestly believe that they're fine. Like, but, well, even sometimes people, you know, like, it depends on the person too. But, cause, like, yeah, you can lose your stuff and still be aware that you're losing your stuff. I wrote something down. Wait a second. There's something in my notes. I remember writing this down. Wait, let's see if I can remember it. This is a really bad joke. Beep, beep. A few marbles short of playing Chinese checkers. There are a few marbles short of playing Chinese checkers. It's a really, really bad joke. Still glad I wrote it down. Oh yeah, and there's a photo, Mr. Jeff Holiday with a pink baguette balloon clipped to his lanyard at PAX, and there is a certain brunette in the background of some of those photos / streams that you might recognize now. It's like playing Where's Waldo with myself. It's kind of fun. Then I guess I don't really get to do it anymore. That's okay. I like being myself. I'm weird. I'm really okay with that. Oh my gosh, you guys are typing so much. Yay, active chat. Yay. Life is usually pretty flipped up. Yep. Might be working at a maximum security prison soon. Whoa, not sure how often I would be laughing there. Ooh, dude, that's intense. That's intense. Man. That is very intense. Certainly a place where, like, you have to be so aware of, like, the body language of people and, like, noticing things before they happen. Good night, Manacos.com. We love you too. Hashtag Kendra. Ooh, yeah. I mean, yeah, not sure how often you'll be laughing there, bud, but, like, hopefully you can make the best of it. I mean, there's certainly some dark humor you could make working at a place like that, but don't know how well those jokes would go over. Feel that out. Remember timing. Remember context. Oof. Oof. Oh, yeah, Oliver, I'm so sorry I didn't get to your question. Do you have any plans for a Discord server or group chat of some sort? Yes, I'm probably going to bother Mr. Gibbs about helping me set that up, but yeah, I'm hoping to have a Discord server at some point. so that there can be like group chats and stuff. I'm working on not only my personal website but also Olive's website. I'm working on designs for logos for logos and for merch. I have a lot of things cooking, and I have more things that I want to be cooking, but sadly my life is so unstable right now with where I am both physically and financially, so I don't really know when I'm going to be able to do a lot of that stuff. Oof, yeah. Hopefully soon, you know, hopefully I can get out of the rat-infested house with the gas leaks and the kitchen that's sinking into the ground, and yeah. Oh, also, I got followed again. Last Friday. Broad daylight, too. Again, broad daylight. And the dude was even creepier because he, like, followed me into my pharmacy, and then I had to, like, dodge him after he, like, came up. He, like, pulled in front of me, and he, like, pulled into this little parking lot to, like, follow me through it, and then he cut in front of me, and then he pulled into my pharmacy parking lot, and I was like, oh, snap, is he following me? And I'm, like, walking across the parking lot, doing, like, a big curve around his car, and he gets out, he starts, like, walking fast to catch up with me, and starts being like, how's your day? And I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, nah, man, I'm sorry. I would like to be left alone. And he got really offended. And was like, you know, muttering like, I wasn't trying to hit on you. You're not even my type. Like, kind of deal. And I was just trying to get my meds, and I go up to the counter, and I'm waiting there, and a gal's getting the bottle, and I like look over, and he's like standing right there at the end of the aisle, and he like turns his head away and starts walking back down it, and then I'm like going to leave, and I realize he's on one aisle over, and he's following along with me. So I'm like, okay, let's take a little test. So I stop, and I turn a little bit, and I start looking at a product. And he stops. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit further down, stop another product. He does the same thing. And so, I spend the next, like, 10, 15 minutes, hiding from this guy. I was lucky because I was just like an inch or two taller than the shelves themselves. And so if there was, like, stuff stacked up high, I could hide relatively easily by just sort of, like, hunching. But so I basically just, like, walked down an aisle, bent down to look at something, while this dude was, like, trying to follow, and then, like, I would, like, stand up, and then, like, I would, like, go down an aisle, and then, like, immediately turn and go down a different one, and then, like, at one point I managed to get, like, all the way on the other side of the store from him, and, like, I was, like, watching between stuff, and like, I saw him, like, looking around, and then he was, like, talking to the dudes at the checkout, and then he left, the pharmacy, and I, like, sort of came out. I, like, waited a couple minutes, and I came out, like, behind the shelf I was hiding behind, and, like, his car was still in the parking lot, and so I, like, ducked back down, and then I waited a little longer, and his car was gone, and then I took a Lyft home that I couldn't afford. Because, like, I had to walk everywhere, so I was walking to the pharmacy when this happened, and, like, if I hadn't been followed, I would have been able to walk home while it was still daylight. But yeah, I had, like, already been like, oh man, I can't take a Lyft, I can't spend the money, and I'm like, oh man, of course, like, this is probably gonna be the day, like, I get, like, something creepy happens, and, like, it was so bad. The only pants I had were the ones I look really good in, so I was like, oh crap, I can't hide as easily. And, oh man, ooh, so creepy. Yeah, that's the second time I've been followed. It is very frightening. It's not tea, it's just salt. Okay, yeah, oh, actually, yeah, let me write that down. That's a really good t-shirt idea. Not tea, just salt. Wait, I can spell. It's not like I studied language or something. Cool. Written down. Yeah, yeah, if it was a fan, I don't know, that might actually make me feel more freaked out. like, how do you find out where I live? Scary. Very scary. Yeah. Don't follow people. Don't follow people. Especially strangers. Like, if you're, like, coming up behind your friend to, like, scare them because you recognize them, one, be really sure that's your friend first, because, you know, I've definitely had that moment of, like, thinking that that person's my friend, and, oh, no, they just look stunningly similar. But, like, yeah, don't follow strangers. That's not cool. Especially, like, I don't think people who are physically, like, taller and broader than the people they're approaching necessarily understand that it is really intimidating if you are a small person. Doesn't matter what bits you have or what you identify as. If you are a small person and somebody who could throw you like a football comes up and is trying to hit on you and is getting really aggressive, even if they're not being super aggressive, just, like, that situation is very just tense on its own because of the pure, like, hey, Kane's hosting my stream, thank you, Kane! But it is very scary. When I was a kid, my sister, like, had this friend, which was, like, somebody who just, like, my dad would make her hang out. My dad would make my sister and I hang out with this other pair of sisters who were, like, just, I guess, just never got out or didn't have any friends, and my dad just, like, felt really bad and would be like, go hang out with them, be their friend. So, like, you know, we tried to do that. But the older sister would do this thing that I absolutely hate and is so obnoxious, because she would just, I was really, really small. So, good night, Oliver. Sorry, interruption. Good night, Oliver. She would just, yeah, I was a really small kid. I didn't hit 4 feet until I was, like, in middle school. Thank you for the follow, Timothy. Didn't hit 4 feet until I was in middle school, so this is when I was in elementary school. I was really young, and she would just grab me and pick me up. And the way that she would pick me up would be, like, under the armpits, or it would just be, like, around the waist, and because I was so small, she could really lift me up high, and that is terrifying, because I've also been dropped. Getting picked up without your permission is really scary. It's really scary. And so just even just now as an adult, I know maybe it is just me, but being a small person, like, I have no issue talking to people who are physically larger than me. Like, that's not the issue here. The issue is when, like, things get tense or things get misconstrued, and there is that added layer of, oh my god, this person could snap me like a toothpick if they wanted to, and I would be powerless to stop it. Because there's only so much self-defense. Like, y'all are really great. I've gotten, like, awesome links and advice on stuff for self-defense, but at the end of the day, if somebody has enough weight on me, that was not the right noise. Snap like a toothpick. It only takes 7 pounds of pressure to break a collarbone. I'm a small person. I'm 2 feet around. You could just chuck me. I'm like, yeah, no, you could just chuck me like Gimli. Toss me. What? Toss me. Oh, is everybody sharing their height now? Yeah, no. Gibbs, you've done that. I've done that. Picked up a guy who looked exactly like one of my friends from the back, like straight up 2 feet in the air, and he freaked the hell out. Yeah, dude, you gotta be careful with that one. Gotta be really sure. Oh, that is kind of awkward. That's bad. I always do the, hey, you don't know me. Hi, stranger who I thought was my friend. Never mind. That doesn't sound right. People break their collarbones. So, G-Money, that actually is the thing. The collarbones are really delicate. Surprisingly. They're hard to break because of, like, where they are and how the muscles around there are, but, like, yeah, it surprisingly, if you know where to push and you know how much force to use, you can break bones rather easily. It is terrifying how both resilient and not so resilient the human body is. Yeah, no, you can actually, you can hurt somebody, or, like, I'm pretty sure you can yeet somebody off this physical plane, if you punch them in the temple. Or at the very least concuss them, but it, like, you know, with enough force, the right location, even a butter knife can be a weapon. Seriously, like, you know, man, like, you can. I was about to say something. I mean, like, anything can be lethal if you try hard and believe in yourself. That sounds so terrible. Oh my god, like, terrible, but it is technically true. That's something Ophelia would say. Maybe I should write that down. Clavicles are very easy to break. Thank you, Gibbs, for knowing about breaking clavicles. Don't want to know how you learned that. Yeah. Yeah, these, got kind of weird, got a little dark. I don't know. I did this kind of, I mean, I researched this kind of stuff, mostly for writing. But also because, you know, I have a morbid curiosity about things. I like to learn. I suppose there's some sort of amount of, like, exposure therapy to that. I've been talking for a while. This is going way better than yesterday. I forgot I had my vape this whole time. I was gonna be hashtag vape niche. There's the beep, beep, beep. Reminds me of recorded conversations with Hitchcock. I hope so, man. There's a hero. There's a hero right there. That guy was a genius. In terms of creating suspense and changing film, the man was a genius. But like all art, once it's out there, published, uploaded, premiered, whatever, it becomes a snapshot of that time period, of that moment in time. And that's why, like, I get really passionate when people talk about things holding up, because when I hear holding up, it is usually, can it be viewed in this moment in time through our lens? And the truth is, it can't. Nothing really can. Because holding up isn't about it being relevant or being appropriate for this day and age. It's about what it did as a piece of art, but also what it says for that moment in time. That's why when we watch old movies, we have to take everything with a grain of salt and remember that that movie is trapped in that time period. It is trapped in that moment. So that, you know, when I'm watching old Faulty Towers, yeah, those racist jokes and those homophobic jokes, I know that they're wrong, and there is going to be a level of uncomfortableness with that. I'm not going to laugh as hard or probably at all at certain points, but it's because it's trapped there, you know? You don't get to update that kind of stuff, you know? It's why it's trapped in that moment of time. That's why, you know, everybody gets pissed at J.K. Rowling when she tries to go back and change stuff, because we all know that's how it works, you know? You don't get to go back and change it, you know? The edits are done. It's the final project. Like, you've already put it out there. You've already published it. It is there, you know? When the artists put a bunch of themselves into their art, but ultimately the art is different from the artist, and that once the artist puts that art out into the world, it no longer is theirs. It will forever be trapped in the present when it was made. Thank you, Connect, for the follow. And it will always be indicative of that time period. And it will always have that first impression. So even if you do go back and edit, go back and censor, go back and add CGI, everyone's still, the people who saw that and when it came out and stuff, there'll still be that memory of that first impression. There will still be that first impression to deal with. Yeah, old Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. There are a bunch of, really old racist, homophobic stuff. And even going back 10 years ago, even going back 5 years ago, there are always going to be jokes and things that will not stay the same as time moves on. Losing that connection between taking something personally and viewing it through your own eyes and viewing it through the lens of that time period and taking things with a grain of salt and remembering that at that time when that piece was created, that was the standard. As awful as sometimes it can be, it is important to acknowledge it. It is important to acknowledge how far we have come. And ignoring a great piece of art that changed history and changed the way artists do their stuff now and we ignore the stuff that changes because it was hard or it was offensive or it was emotion inducing in a way that we find negative. Like, we can't ignore that stuff. We can't. We have to be able to acknowledge. I mean, if life is trial and error and like we're gonna be making mistakes, like we have to acknowledge that we made those mistakes in order to be able to move on to the future. And the other thing about that is like acknowledging it in a negative way and seeing that thing as only the negative. And I'm talking about art. Like Looney Tunes, for example, because all of Looney Tunes isn't like racist joke after racist joke. The stuff that's all racist jokes or all homophobic stuff, that kind of stuff, you don't really hear about because it's not the stuff that's stuck around. And when we think about stuff that, when I think about what really is holding up, and I just hate that phrase. I just hate that phrase. It's just obnoxious sounding. It doesn't hold up. Like, no. It doesn't hold up to your standards of what you think is correct or offensive or whatever. But it's still around for a reason. And as my favorite writing teacher would say, like and dislike are the shallowest of emotions. They are the shallowest of opinions. That's the base level of opinion you can have. Like or dislike, base level opinion. When you get past like or dislike, when you start asking yourself why I like this, you can get one step further, like, well, I like that actor. Well, why do you like that actor? Well, I like the way that he speaks. Well, he makes me feel this way. Like, that's when you start getting beyond. And when you get beyond dislike, when you are able to pinpoint what you dislike about something, and then why, that's the important part. People will be able to pinpoint what they dislike, but they won't be able to explain why. But when you can get past that, and when you can look at something and see it from more than just a like or dislike, that's when you can read stuff like the really old stuff, like the Greeks, and take what they did right, you know? When I was in school, there would always be like a few students in my writing classes who would be very vocal about the novels we were usually reading or the stories. They always were very, very intensely like or dislike. They rarely had mixed feelings, and they very usually wouldn't be able to get too deep into why they didn't like something. And it was a little disheartening because, yeah, I don't like you know, the hero's journey. I don't generally like stories that use the hero's journey, but I understand how the structure works, and I understand why artists use it and why it's stuck around and how it evokes emotion. Like, yeah, I don't like it, but I get how it works. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't like watching The Big Bang Theory, but I understand why people would find this joke funny or this character funny. I understand what they're doing. Just because I don't like the way that they're executing it doesn't mean that they're not doing it effectively for other people. And when you can start, you know, looking at stuff like that and get beyond your own personal like or dislike and get beyond your own personal feelings, helps you. I don't know, at least for me, it really helped me be more open-minded and open to learning more things. And also just, like, not be so angry at people when they don't like the same things I like or they like the things that I don't like, because that's really shallow. Oh my god, you don't like Harry Potter? You should yeet yourself out off this physical plane. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, good night, Gibbs. Good night, Gibbs. We will be filming this weekend. We're going to look at some weird stuff, and I will not be able to censor myself, so I will be swearing hard on that one. I think it's coming out Sunday. We'll be linking it. We'll be tweeting it. Good night, Gibbs. Catharsis, I wouldn't agree that it was funny from the beginning, but again, personal opinion, you know? Everybody's allowed to have it. We don't all have to agree. Also, like, there's just gonna be things that people just don't like. Doesn't matter. Like, there's always gonna be somebody who just doesn't like you for any reason. Like, it's just, you just walk in the room, they just don't like you. I had a roommate like that. I actually got bullied out of an apartment because of that. Girl just didn't like me. Just, there's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do. And she actually, like, even in, like, the like, roommate meeting we had, she admitted it. She, you know, she's doing, like, the fist thing while she was talking. She's just like, I just don't like her. Like, I didn't even do anything. She just didn't like me. Ooh. Like, there's nothing I can do about that, though. You can't make people like you. You can try your best, but, you know, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink. And denial ain't just a river in Egypt. Those are two of my favorite phrases. Roomie had a roomie. I've had several roomies. I've had some horrific nightmare roomies. Nick, about looking to the past. I always say to students that anachronism. Anachronism is the historian cardinal sin. If you use your lens to understand the past, things will be completely screwed up. Art is a form of time capsule. It represents the spirit of the times they have been made. Exactly. It becomes a snapshot. It becomes a snapshot of that moment in time, you know? Like newspaper clippings. Man, I do sound like an old lady. I am likely going to sign off here pretty soon so I can try to rest my voice and hopefully fix Miss Ophelia's light so I can film as her. I actually have a very cool special video that I've been working on for her that is a little bit more musically inclined, and I am very excited, and I need to do at the very least some sound recording, so you'll probably want to save my voice a little bit for that. You miss having a roomie? I miss having certain roomies. And yeah, I miss living with someone. That was really nice. It's nice. And like having pets. Because I had goldfish, but they don't really like run to the door and jump into your arms like when you get home. Does Ophelia enjoy black metal? I don't listen to a whole lot of black metal. I can sort of go in and out on what kind of music I'm listening to. Lately, I have been very much into the psychedelic rock. A lot of Black Angels, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, Brian Jonestown Massacre. Wonder if that's gonna get picked up by the analytics. Crap. But yeah, fun stuff. Ophelia's gonna get a little bluesy. Cause I don't have enough instrumental skill to, or like music editing skill to really do much more than that. Oh man. What if I could? I'd love to learn how to play the drums. I'd love that. That would be awesome. I'd be a one-woman band. I'm thinking actually maybe doing a little bit of original music myself. I don't really know. It's a pipe dream. Got a couple other pipe dreams. So Ophelia, a club kid in the 90s. Was she still a cat in the 90s? Oh, I don't remember her timeline. I think Ophelia might have been a cat in the 90s. She was definitely, like, doing, snorting some powdered sugar with like, the 80s, stockbrokers and stuff. Oh, your son chose the drums. Looking to get him some for Christmas. Yeah, dude. You might want to do the, there's, like, the drum sets where it's, it, like, is the ones that, like, hook up to the computer, so it's not like like an actual, like, acoustic drum set, but, like, it's got, like, the pads, so, yeah, the electric drums. Yeah, you might want to look into those ones. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Unless you have a soundproof room. Or, like, a shed in your backyard. I went on Browse Random and I was the #1 stream. Aww. I'm famous. Maybe someday. Yeah, drums are loud. The 90s were the high water mark of America. I don't know, man. The 20s were pretty cool. 20s were pretty cool. 60s were really cool. A lot of stuff happened. Beep, beep. Aw, Dad taking the kid to the Guitar Center. Aw, how wholesome. How wholesome and adorable. You got an artist on your hands, though. Careful. Oh, man. Hoo-wee. I don't know why I like saying that. She gonna deliver the greed is good monologue? Ooh. You know, I feel like Ophelia would be more likely to, like, deliver a monologue from, like, Glengarry Glen Ross. Or, Death of a Salesman, even. Depending on who you were, the 20s weren't that great. Yeah, I was thinking more, like artistically, and, like, you think about, like, the boom of, like, art and wealth before, you know, the stunning train wreck that was the 30s. But yeah, I mean, depending on who you were, no time period was that great. Like, you know, you end up in that wrong group, man. Stork drops you off with random strangers, and you're supposed to just like them. It's like showing up to a party where you don't know whose birthday it is, and you just suddenly have to act like you've known them for years and you're best friends. Is that kind of weird when you think about it? Human history blows? No, human history's really cool. We do really dumb, funny stuff. History's really cool. Learning is power. Knowledge is power. It is. Art Deco. Yeah. Minecraft brings up a good point about Art Deco. It's pretty flippin' cool. Where I went to college, there was, the buildings, were really old, and it was all Art Deco-y and, like, gilded and stuff. Oh, love that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Prohibition era is quite interesting in terms of art. Yes, it was. When you tell people not to do stuff, that makes them want to do it more, and they do it in sketchy, weird ways. Just, just sort of makes them find the loopholes, which are usually gonna make things worse overall. Retrofuturism. Very cool. Very cool. Yes. Oh, my science fiction writing teacher in college is really into the retrofuturism. All the, like, the 40s and 50s radio shows, like, oh my goodness, oh, what was it? It wasn't Plan XX. It was, oh, I'm kicking myself for not remembering these old radio shows that I used to listen to. Suspicion was one. Oh gosh, there's a couple horror ones too, like the old radio shows, like Orson Welles used to do and stuff, like with all the like retrofuturism and like the comic books and all that, and the art that came along with, like, especially those 40s and 50s science fiction writers, you know, and you know, people like Ray Bradbury and Rod Serling and, oh, what's his face? He wrote Perchance to Dream. I love him. What was his name? Come on. Come on. Come on, Janey. You can get it. You know what you're supposed to do is when you can't remember, like, a name or something, what's on the tip of your tongue, you're supposed to just, like, let it go. Because, like, when you put the pressure on your brain, it, like, makes it not come as fast. I don't know. I read that somewhere. God, might be true. Charles Beaumont. See, okay, you know, that kind of worked. Okay, you know what? If it's just placebo effect, it's working on me. But still. Ooh, Edgar Allan Poe did actually do some science fiction writing, which is really cool. Did actually. I've got a little collection of his stories, of his science fiction writing. Reading and writing is cool. I could talk about writing and books forever, which is why this stream has gone on for almost 3 hours. I'm still really overexposed. Someday I'll have, like, someday I'll have not IKEA lights. Maybe Amazon lights. Lights Out! Yes, Lights Out is a great one. Oh, Lights Out was one of my favorite ones. Yeah, you know, like Lights Out, the same writers who worked on The Twilight Zone were the same kind of ones who did stuff for Lights Out. And they also would direct those kinds of shows, those episodes too. Like, Orson Welles wrote a few Twilight Zone episodes. Like Ray Bradbury wrote a bunch of them. Charles Beaumont, like I mentioned. Rod Serling, of course, wrote a whole lot of them. Ray Bradbury wrote one of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes, which I love it because it's one of the few science fiction stories that takes a more positive view of what technology could do for us. And the episode is called I Sing the Body Electric, and it's based on, I believe he also has, the title is a callback to, I want to say it's a Robert Frost poem, but I'm probably wrong. But it's a callback to a poem called I Sing the Body Electric, but it is Dimension X. That was it. Thank you, Manacos.com. I thought you went to bed, yo. Dimension X. Yes, that was the one I was trying to think of. But I Sing the Body Electric is really fascinating because it is about this family who they've lost the mother. And there's this company that makes grandmas, basically. Like, not like Mary Poppins, but basically androids that act as these caregivers. And it's a really kind of beautiful story because there's, like, one kid who, like, really is rejecting it. Is like, no, you're a machine, you can't love, like, you can't feel, like, you're gonna leave, you're gonna die, like, and it's a really amazing story because, you know, I mean, it's in black and white and it's older, you know, that language is gonna be antiquated, things are gonna be clunkier, but when you can just pull back and be in that place and watch something like that, that episode is one of my favorites because it shows that science fiction doesn't all have to be dystopia or false utopia. It can be android grandmas who take care of the kids that they love. And then when I'm gonna just spoil a little bit of the ending, because I love what Bradbury uses to describe when eventually android grandma, the kids grow up and android grandma has to go back to the factory, as they ask what's going to happen to her. And she says, well, I'll be, taken apart, and I will, and like her spirit, she supposes, will go to a big room of voices with all the other grandmas, and we'll tell each other our stories about the children we cared for, and give advice to each other, and maybe I'll go off and be with another family, maybe I'll wait there for a while, but who knows? And I don't know. That episode is lovely and definitely worth a watch. I mean, pretty much all the Twilight Zone episodes are worth a watch. But that one certainly is it tugs at the heart. And usually I'm not a big fan of soft stuff, but it's just one of those things that doesn't happen very often in science fiction. Like, another example of that would be the story. There's a short story called Cat Pictures, Please, and it's about an AI on the internet who loves cat pictures and likes specific cats, and will starts trying to get the owners of the cats to post more pictures. When they stop, the AI is listening, is like, oh, she's been really depressed lately, I'll send her ads about therapy, I'll send her spam emails to talk to someone, I'll the AI trying to intervene so that it can get more cat pictures. It's just amazing to think about, right? Because the AI is a robot. It's not it's just it just wants the cat pictures. It's just a robot. I need the cat pictures. Must process the cat pictures. Like a program, like a robot. But it's doing something. But it's helping in order to execute that process. I don't know. It's just not something you see super often in science fiction. That short story, I believe, won several awards. But it's called Cat Pictures, Please, and it's fabulous. Definitely just a different look at science fiction. Shout out to my lovely science fiction writing teacher, Richard. He's the best. He's science fiction's grandpa. Really funny. Have I read The Moon is a Harsh Mistress? I have not. Oh, wait, I missed something. Stephen Wolfram says human consciousness will be integrated in computers in a box of a trillion souls that will experience the infinity of all possible computations experiences. I want whatever drugs he's been doing. Man. Well, Stephen doesn't know what's gonna happen. Nobody does. That's interesting. But maybe it'll happen. Who knows? I mean, I'm a psychic, so I know, but no, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Yeah, well, so these radio shows, they were, they all premiered the 30s, 40s, 50s. You can actually go online. YouTube has a whole bunch of them that you can listen to. I used to do that, or I'd listen to the radio stories with an SO of mine. We'd listen to the old-timey radio. It's really cool. Yeah, send me that so that I can look it up. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. That sounds vaguely... It sounds familiar. Yeah, Twilight Zone is awesome. Oh, so many good episodes. So many good stories. And so many things that people have done now, and people think, oh my god, nobody's ever done that before. Ray Bradbury did it, just in black and white, which is why you haven't watched it. Yeah, the Twilight Zone. Ooh, cultural phenomena, man. It's again, you don't have to like it, you don't have to think it's good, but you should acknowledge that it's stuck around and people still see it as an influence for a reason. Yeah, lights out in the Internet Archives. Lovely. Check out that link, y'all. That Minecraft just dropped. Fun stuff. Ooh, wee. Yeah. Alright. I can feel myself fading. I can feel my voice start to go. And see how exposed my skin is. You know, it is kind of nice having this, like, overly exposed lighting because it hides how terrible my skin has been. Yes, I did. I did permit the term white trash. I didn't know that was an unpermitted term. This stream is too positive. I mean, we were talking about, like, violent things lately. Take care of my voice. Yeah, I really should. But also this is fun. Extra lit. Extra lit. Literally extra lit. Am I exposing my bad humor too much? I don't know, you guys might end up calling me a little dim. I don't feel super bright right now. I'm sorry. I love puns. I love dad jokes. I love just the worst. I love the worst of the worst. I don't know. I guess I just, I like puns to be in the spotlight. In all my conversations. Hey, yeah, keep those puns going, y'all. Oh gosh. Oh, sorry. Manicost, you don't have to use a name for the P.O. box. I thought you were just gonna, like, DM me the name of the movie. Or, of the book. Wow. That's really sweet of you. No, you don't have to. Yeah, I should still have the P.O. box for another couple months. I'll have to put some sort of authorized user, some friend or family member of mine. Beep, beep. I have a bright mind. Thank you. You know. Just sometimes, you know, the light bulb pops over my head and I get a great idea. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. See, now I just want to come up with more lighting puns. That's all I want to do now. Just want to make lighting puns. I'm trying way too hard right now, but I can't help myself. I feel like there's one more. I have one more pun in me. I lost it. Oh. Sorry, guys. I fire burned out. Just couldn't get an idea to spark. Oh man. Alright. This is so much fun. Hopefully I'll be doing this more. Don't really know if it'll be like same sort of thing I'm doing right now where I'm chatting. I would like to hook up my Xbox to the whole streaming thing so I can play Fallout and hang out with you guys. And leave presents in various people's camps and hunt for monsters and stuff. But yeah, keep hanging out with me, you guys. I really love making the videos for Olive's Organic Living and really love playing these characters and making you guys laugh. And if I am making you laugh, but hopefully making you laugh. And I'm hoping I can do stream like this again. I do really like being myself. I can just talk about writing and stuff for way too long. You just want to send stuff that doesn't make sense, like a pan flute where all the notes are not in accord so it sounds awful when you play it? That sounds hilarious. Then I'd just be really determined to figure out how to play it. Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. I get really sucked into stuff like that. Outer Limits? Yeah, I didn't get it as much into the Outer Limits as I did the Twilight Zone. One Step Beyond, I did get a little bit into. If we send weird stuff, will you put it in the background? Yeah, depending on wherever I'm, like, filming, and who is the one in the video. If it's me, I can, like, probably put it in the background if it's, like, we're in, like, this room or something, or we're in wherever I'm gonna end up next. But Olive's set is a little different. Ophelia's set's a little different. I'd sort of have to go with their characters, because I'm really particular about that sort of thing. I'm way too particular. To the point where, like, when I got Ophelia's horns, they were just, like, plain white, and so I ended up, like, sanding down some of the parts, which I actually need to go through and fix and do a little bit of, like, adding, so that, you could sort of see the ridges and stuff, but it was just plain white, so I sanded down, like, the harder plastic, and I did a couple layers of paint, and I found out that the horns would slip off, because they're just a headband. So this is actually a... I don't even know if you could see it. This is an old bra strap. This is an old bra strap that I took and electrical tape and super glued to the horns headband, so that I'd be able to put it on, but then and have it stay on, but then also so that I knocked my vape over, so that I could adjust it and be able to, like, loosen it and take it off without, like, messing up my wig too much. Make it yourself. If you can't buy it, make it yourself. Can you tell I'm the daughter of an engineer? Family of engineers, actually. I like fixing stuff myself. I knocked over my vape. Oh, press F in the chat for Ophelia's lamp. F in the chat for Ophelia's lamp. I was so sad when I broke that. So sad. Because it looked so good. The only thing is that I had to pry it off every time I wanted to film for Olive, switching between them, because I only have 2 light bulbs that give me the white light that I need. So I had to, like, rip it apart every time, and then the last time I ripped it apart, it just broke. Oh, I see a Jilly face in the chat. Hey! A long line of engineers led to the invention of the horny bra strap. Yes. Yes, they did. My ancestors would be proud. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for following me, nameless cultist. You sound cool. What kind of cult? Okay, yeah, I was saying goodbye, wasn't I? Hopefully I'll have a new video out soon for everyone, but thank you for hanging out with me, you guys. This has been really fun. Thank you for letting me ramble about art and about writing and stories and stuff, and maybe hashtag controversial opinions. I don't know why I keep saying hashtag out loud when I'm talking about stuff like that. Just gotta keep doing it. I don't know if I'm doing it ironically or non-ironically anymore, so I'm just giving up on trying to figure that out. Is Ophelia gonna start a cult? I mean, technically, she already has one, but there's only a few members. So, I mean, like, yeah, she's got a cult. You could buy some land and live at the end of a street. A cul-de-sac? Oh, okay, you know, snaps, poetry snaps for that pun. Poetry snaps for the cul-de-sac at the end of the road. That's great. That's great. Can you spill some salt as an ode to Ophelia? Yes. So salty. Yeah, you guys are so funny. It's so hard to sign off. No, this is so much fun. Thanks for letting me ramble, you guys. This has been super fun. Someday I'm gonna figure out how to, like, have videos up while I'm doing stuff, or at least just be able to hang out more, because this is pretty cool. I'd love to be able to also talk to people. You know, so that there are others to fill the silence with interesting things to say when I can't come up with anything. But hopefully I'll see you guys soon in a new video. Have a lovely Friday and weekend, y'all. Get turned if you can. Don't get so turned that you will regret it. Or regret it. I mean, no regrets, but also avoid regrets if you can. But have a lovely rest of your night, friends and countrymen. I will hopefully see you soon. I've said that now 3 times. It's okay, though. Stay silly. Stay silly, my friends. Have a good night.